for bonkers celebrities agree to take part, and they are here to join us now. We've got Steph McGovern, Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen and Una Healy, and Boris Becker joining us too. Good morning to you all.
Hello, everybody.
Let's start with your arm first of all.
Yes, it's not...
This isn't from the show, is it?
No, I survived the jungle with Bear Grylls, and then I get home and I slip on the ice outside my house and I've snapped my arm in two, so I've, like, just waiting to find out if I need surgery on it and stuff.
That was quite a dramatic moment, though, where you fell down the...
Yes, I know.
Down the abseiling thing.
I know, it's quite hard watching that. So there's a bit in the show where I kind of fall off a cliff, basically, and then smash into a cliff edge several times. And, you know, yeah.
We've all got so offhand about it.
I know.
There's a bit where I fall off a cliff and I drown and you lose your shoes.
Oh, yeah, I know I kept talking about the shoes,
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right, Lawrence. As Steph's saying that, she's sort of saying it very matter-of-fact.
Yeah.
You had a moment where you had to be sort of oxygened and saved.
Well,
and...
it turns out I don't have gills, which has surprised me. You know, getting stuck under a boat meant I couldn't quite breathe. The basic problem was that, you know, in my head, I'm like Action Man, but in reality, I'm Grandpa Pig. And, you know, actually sort of doing this stuff, you know, I'm all up here with it, but then trying to do it less so.
But you do it well.
Yeah.
Oh, there you
do
go.
it very well, very well. With style and panache. Una, you must be super cool now with your kids, because I've got kids as well, and they think Bear Grylls, the ground he walks on, they worship.
So, like, they don't remember me being in the Saturdays in a girl band, and they don't really care, even though they've seen pictures and videos and all that. But as soon as I told them I'm going to be doing a Netflix show, they're like, with Bear Grylls. Oh, they're so excited. Yeah, really
And they've seen the first couple of episodes, like we have. And what did
just
they
the
make
first
of
two.
it?
That's all we've seen. Like,
and what did they make of it?
Yeah, they really enjoyed it. Like, we're going to binge watch it all together. So, yeah, the 8 episodes, they're all out now. So, yeah, all together.
Boris, thank you for joining us.
Hi,
sadly,
Boris.
you can't be here. There's travel restrictions, of course, because of your time when you spent in prison, which I was amazed to understand as you're talking in the show, you're really open about that experience and how that that impacted on actually going and doing this show.
Well, I was really careful what I was talking about. I mean, the challenge being a jungle with, you know, first 11 strangers was, you know, big enough. And then obviously hunting down by Bear Grylls was even more frightening. But then you have, you know, there's many times when you just sit in the camp, you talk to one another a little bit and you do open up. You know, this challenge was really trying to get uncomfortable, being comfortable, getting uncomfortable. And you know, so you need each other. And therefore, we spoke about a lot of things.
But Boris, there's uncomfortable and there's uncomfortable. Like, didn't you break your knee or something like that on the first episode? And it just, I was talking to Steph, and it just grew and grew over the space of the time that you were in Costa Rica.
Well, it's a real challenge. It's not for the faint-hearted. You really have to go further than you think you can go. And yes, I've hurt my knee a little bit, but I don't want to take too much away from the show. But overall, you know, everybody went where they didn't think they could go. And I think that's the charm of the show.
I wonder, Boris, how being an internationally renowned athlete and supreme tennis player and global superstar prepared you for sharing a room with Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen.
For example, and 11 others. I mean, the bigger challenge was really sharing, you know, a huge bedroom with 11 strangers. And you know, we all make different type of noises at night. And you'd be surprised
you have no idea. Who knew that Mel B snores like this?
There are those moments, though, Steph, when we watch sort of the jungle and we watch bits and pieces. You guys turn up in this and it's in a beautiful place.
Yes,
so
it is.
all of you are in a
Gorgeous.
very open room, sharing together, sleeping together, and it's roasting hot.
Yes, it is. And you don't get a sense of the heat, I don't think, from the show. But, you know, there was a time I remember just pulling the, like, cuff of my arm and sweat was just pouring out.
Yes.
But it was fun, though. I laughed so much. Like, there's nothing like when you go into bed at night and you look across and you're like, there's Boris Becker, there's Mel B, and there's Lawrence Llewellyn-Bowen, who looks like a king who's died.
Yeah, no, this is...
Like,
she would literally, she kept waking up and going, because I looked like I was lying in state, apparently.
It did.
I was also
It was
draped
like
in a mosquito net.
I am not surprised,
Nice.
are you?
No.
And
Yeah.
the thing I was surprised about, though, is out of everybody, you managed to get in a hat, some sunglasses, a fancy shirt, the cologne.
Fancy shirt, yeah. No, well, the thing was, I mean, I had a bit of a spy in the House of Love because the wardrobe lady, the lovely Dirty Susie, just rang me up and said, listen, I can't put you in this stuff from the high street. Can you, So I sent her some of my own shirts and some of my fabrics. They'll do, they're in the colour field.
Yeah.
And I suddenly realised that I was the only one there that had all my own stuff. You were borrowing it.
You'll see me a lot.
Yeah, Danny was after it straight into my toiletries bag.
So you smuggled in contraband?
Well, I wore in contraband and no one said no. I was just like, well, you can take it away from me if you want to. Eventually they did. Eventually they did twig.
Right.
And I found myself having to wear high street. That was the most traumatic thing.
That was worse than being in the bear pit.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, wearing chain store clothes. It was really
It'll never be the same again.
Una, talk to us about being hunted by bear, because, there is moments within this where you will face big challenges and then you end up in the bear pit being
So if you
chased
lose your
down.
challenge, we're all living together. So I would say it's kind of like Big Brother / Hunger Games. Like, just to sum it up really quickly, that's how I would describe it. And we were all living together. Then we were put into 2 separate teams against each other. And then whoever lost then were put into the bear pit. There's only like 4 exits, 5 go in. So you either have to evade or escape. Yeah, escape. So there's like different exits. You have to find your tool. And while you're in there, you just have to be on amber alert. That's what Bear Grylls says. Like, be really stealth-like, really.
Be a deer.
Yeah, be a
That's what he
deer.
says.
Yes.
Be a deer.
Yeah, be a
I thought he
deer.
was being friendly. Be a deer.
Well, there's crocodiles and
There is.
scorpions
There's
and
potential
snakes,
life hazards.
sharks.
There's also
And celebrities.
those howler monkeys that sound like
Yeah.
dinosaurs.
Yeah.
They sound like dinosaurs.
Boris, I wonder, obviously in the world that sort of you guys exist in and you work in and the experiences you have, did you expect it to be as tough as it was?
Well, when I first was approached by Netflix and Bear Grylls, I was, flattered and honored. I'm a big fan of Bear and all his shows before. I didn't know what to expect, but I'm a kind of guy that always tries to push my own boundaries a little bit. But I didn't think it was going to be that bad, honestly. There was probably no technology, no contact with the outside world, and then ultimately with a bunch of strangers for 2 or 3 weeks. So yes, having said that though, I only have great memories, and I miss the team. I'd love to see you again, and hopefully soon.
He was the godfather, so we would all go and sit and chat
Yeah.
to him just to feel inspired and
He was so
motivated.
motivational.
Like, he was so motivational.
He was like the druid.
Mental
Yeah.
thing, yeah.
He was sorting everyone's problems out.
Yeah.
Very kind of-
You were like,
He was
if
the
you were
wise
upset,
elder.
yeah,
He
you'd
used
go,
the
"Go and
force."
talk to him.
He was Obi-Wan,
Yes.
Boris
No,
Becker.
but yes. I tell you who wasn't like that, though.
Who?
You under that water.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, listen.
You were every camp needs a drama queen.
Yeah,
It was really scary, actually.
yeah,
when
it was.
Listen, we're
really-
teasing a little bit, but you can tell. Just how serious was that, Lauren?
I mean, it was serious.
It
It
was.
was serious. I mean, it was a lot to do with me being thoroughly overexcited. And as Jackie says, that's what comes when you show off, really, isn't it?
No, but you just jumped off a speedboat
Well, I had.
into shark-infested waters and swam through the Costa Rican ocean.
And I don't think many 60-year-olds do that, as a matter of course. But the extraordinary thing was just how incredible everybody was at that moment. There was no, no one even thought they all went into this immediate kind of rescue mode. And they have this extraordinarily wonderful, large selection of people in small red bikinis that come and rescue you.
Baywatch-esque.
Very Baywatch.
I don't think that
Do you think, did that
happens.
not actually happen?
No, but
okay.
you thought
There was lots of blood
you thought that Holly was like the guardian angel.
I had a terrible moment because I actually did pass out, and then I came to, and there was this sort of beatific blonde in broderie anglais leaning over me, and I thought that the angel of death has never looked more beautiful. And then she went like this. You're right, Lawrence. Oh, it's Holly. Right. I'm still here.
The absolute opposite. And then, Una, I think that you've said, because there's all sorts of skills that you have to learn in this, not least when you're being tracked by bear, but one of the skills that you've learned is to be quiet, because you struggle a little bit.
Yeah, like I would be naturally a chatterbox. I was always told in school, needs to stop talking. That was always in my report. So going in there and actually being I was very shy, and I felt quite intimidated by the big personalities, and I didn't really know my place or who to talk to. It was kind of like, so I was literally like a little mouse for the first couple of episodes. But I took a back seat and I watched and observed.
Yes.
That's actually what Boris always said, take a bird's eye view. I remember Boris saying that. And I really did, and I learned so much, and I got to know everyone. So then I felt more comfortable, and I came out of my shell as the days went on.
And she's fierce.
Yeah.
She's so
She
fierce.
is so fierce.
She's like Bodicea. I mean, she really, you know...
She's the person you want on your team.
Really?
Whatever you're going
Competitive as
through in
well.
life,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were the dynamics like in there? Did you all kind of get along all of the time, or was it?
Oh,
So we
there's
had the
tension,
Godfather that
but-
was
Yeah,
Boris.
that's what
was,
I'm trying
yeah.
to work out.
You know, everyone kind of took on a role, didn't they, in some way? You were
Yeah.
like the clown, the court
Oh,
jester.
thanks for that. Yeah, that's great. Lovely. Thanks for that. That's great.
He's
what
so
with
witty.
my long shoes? Yeah. Okay.
I love it.
You know, and my squeaky nose.
Isn't it? But I think they were, you know, to most of the time we were working together. It was only really when you're in the bear pit where you're entirely just fending for yourself.
Right.
Well, I think, I mean,
Actually,
and this is what makes this show different, because actually it's about building you,
Yeah.
not tearing you down. So many of the other formats, you know, they're putting you in such extreme circumstances and it's about breeding conflict. This was actually about giving us an environment to get to know each other and then to get to know how we could be a bit better. And actually, I think it's a very clever thing to do, because I think all of us ended up being a lot more out there, a lot more brave, reaching a lot further when we were in the challenges, because we didn't, you know, we were getting on. You know, we weren't. There was no sort of insecurity.
And actually, it's
behind
very
it.
different to other shows as well, because we actually got fed out of the smoke, literally. Big Zoo, who's a chef,
Yes.
he was cooking by the fire pit for us every night. And it was really
Oh, it was
lovely.
incre-
And
yeah.
because we didn't have our phones, we actually all had just like the art of conversation was back. And
Yeah.
it was really a lovely thing. And I think I'd recommend anyone to have a digital
We
detox.
had a lot of meat.
We did. And salads.
Protein
No,
is your friend
Yeah.
when you're out
Basically,
there.
yes,
Yeah, we
there's a
ate
lot of
really
it.
well.
And just one thing on Holly, because there's this amazing moment where all of you are there and you're covered in mud and you're sweating and
Yeah.
you're dripping. And then, as you described her, she does appear like a mirage.
Yeah, looking fabulous.
Gorgeous, yeah.
Is it like how? What's,
Do you know,
what's
she
her
was
role?
great because Bear was like the head teacher who you constantly wanted to impress. And Holly was more like your kind of form tutor who looks after you, and she'd come in and she'd be like,
Yeah.
you
It's like
all right?
matron.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, right.
she was so kind. And also, whenever she came in, we were all like, because I'm obviously a massive news junkie, so I was like, there's an election being called, Holly. What's going on now? And, you know, everyone
Was she
was
giving-
I was going, is coral still colour of the year? Have fashions changed in helmets since I've been away?
Is it mocha something, isn't it?
I think it is mocha something. Yeah.
Mocha latte.
surprise.
Yes.
So, Boris, obviously you did this with a cast of British celebrities. Is there any suggestion that you might be taking some German celebrities into the jungle, or maybe doing it without getting an injury and completing the challenge?
Well, I've had some invites over the last couple of years. So far, I've been refusing. I mean, for me, the decisive moment was obviously Bear Grylls, and Holly was excellent as well. I'm normally more into the world of sports and sports commentary and all that. So reality TV is normally not my cup of tea.
Normally not, but you made an exception, and it left you with an experience you'll never forget, I'm sure.
I'm sure. No, it was wonderful. I can't wait for the episodes to show. I've seen the first two, but I haven't seen the others. And it was a wonderful experience, and I would do it all over again, but with the same crew.
Amazing.
Excellent. Something you guys are never going to forget.
What, Boris? No, never. Never in a million years.
The Godfather. Thank you all for joining us and coming in. Boris, thank you for joining us as well.
Thank you.
Yes, Celebrity Bear Hunt is on Netflix. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning. Actress and comedian who never fails to make us laugh. But one thing Daisy May Cooper's not joking about is your love for this.
I just think you're perfect.
Oh,
You've got
Daisy.
such a symmetrical face. I honestly, you are wonderful. And I'm shaking. That's just, I'm not going to get creepy, I promise. I just think you're very handsome.
And this isn't the first time Daisy's pontificated about you, is it?
No.
So is it
Ben.
getting under control, Daisy?
I'm
or
trying
is it...
to, but I just...
No,
you've
don't
got your
let it.
forearms out.
I've got my forearms out for you, Daisy. We'll have a
Oh,
different
gosh.
outfit now. From when I was next door, it was suited and booted with a tie, and now I'm a little bit
Oh,
more
it's
déshabillé.
everything. Was that for me? Or?
Casual, a little
always.
bit loose. Talking of things for you, actually,
yes.
Daisy, remember the last time you came on and you hugged him and you said, oh, you didn't let me down. That was exactly what I wanted you to smell like.
Yes!
What are we doing? Are we encouraging this?
We have Eau de Shepherd here, a mature scent for life's tipping points. Best enjoyed between 10 and 12:30. Safe around cats.
Oh!
Is that
Yes,
a
so
diffuser?
Mr. Miyagi will be fine with it.
Oh, lovely.
And that
Oh,
smells of
Thank
Ben.
you.
Smell him.
How have you captured
Oh,
my
it
mum?
does smell of you.
Does
It can go in your
Put it
office.
on my pillows. Oh, lovely.
Your poor family. I do apologise for everyone back home who has to put up with this.
Oh, but my
madness.
poor partner.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Sorry, babe.
How are you? It's lovely to see you.
Oh, I'm good, thank you, darling.
And
I'm
we-
so excited to be here this morning. It's my first ever
You've
time
never
on
done it this morning. It's been
Never.
quite a show
I was
already.
just thinking, that's not real, is it?
No, let's not dwell. Let's not, let's,
As long as it's moving. Sometimes it breaks and it doesn't move at
that's
all.
the original view from the original studio, but then we moved a good few years ago, and we're not
See.
sadly on the river anymore. But we can still,
Oh, lovely.
like life. We don't dwell on what's not real. Can we talk a little bit about Am I Being Unreasonable?
Yes.
Because Series 2 is coming out, and honestly, as we know, Series 1, amazing. Very twisty-turny, lots of shocking moments.
Yes.
And when I last saw you, we were talking about how are you going to do Series 2? Where are you going to start? Because how are you going to have all those twists?
Well, it's taken this long. It's been nearly 3 years. But we had to go through every single scenario with every character. Like anything that you could ever possibly think of, we've thought of it. And it's been on a Post-it note in my bedroom. And then after many breakdowns and lots of watching Married at First Sight UK
Yes.
to distract ourselves, we finally came up with the second series. And I'm pleased with it. I just hope people like it.
Oh, like it. We love it.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's so lovely.
One of the most amazing things about it is the relationship between you and your son. Ollie, Lenny, and we're all like...
Just amazing.
Did you ever envisage that you were going to have this beautiful, lovely chemistry together?
No, and I mean, a bit annoying that he's only 15 and he's won a BAFTA. And,
Yes.
You know, you hardly know I'm in this series because he's so good.
He is.
How is he that talented at that age? It's just like, what was I doing at that age? Like prank calling the local pub?
No. But it was brilliant. There's one scene, we talked about it this morning, actually, didn't we, in makeup, where you're sitting and I think you're in a wardrobe and you're back to back, like against the door,
yes,
and you go, how did you know I was in there? And he's like, I heard you fart. and then you have like this conversation together.
Oh, yeah.
That is just so lovely to
Oh,
watch.
he's incredible. He just steals every scene and he's amazing.
It must be brilliant to see that as well, because he's obviously been so well received in that character. He won the BAFTA,
Yeah.
like you say.
All right.
Looks super smart on the night. But as Kat was saying, it's not... that chemistry is great. The chemistry with all of the cast
Oh,
is
that's
brilliant.
lovely.
You know, and it was lovely to see them all again. I know we don't want to give away too much, but your character, Nick, she's got herself into a bit of a state at the end of Series 1.
Yeah, a bit of a pickle.
Where do we... Just in case anyone hasn't watched it yet, because we've seen preview
Yes.
copies, where do they pick up with what she's going through?
We literally pick up like half an hour after Series 1 left off.
OK.
Which is a bit mad because since then I've lost about 5 pounds and I've had my lips done. So just go with it. Please just go with it. It's really funny. There's a flashback where I have no lips to Series 1 where I have no lips and then suddenly I'm like Donald Duck. It's mad. But
The
anyway.
lips look wonderful, Daisy.
Thank you, darling. But, yeah, so we're straight back in. We're at the memorial.
Yes.
And she's spiralling and we just join her in the middle of this, glorious panic attack.
Chaos.
Chaos. But, yeah, it's fun.
Do you know where it's going next too? Because I think this is one of the things about it. It is a comedy thriller. You so rarely get a comedy thriller.
Oh, well,
Do you know where
yes.
it's going next?
Absolutely no idea. If you've got any good ideas, I'd be very grateful for
There
them.
could be a couple of great characters,
You
maybe.
have to be in it. Series 3. I was
Ready.
running the local cafe.
We'd be all over that.
Oh, you would be brilliant.
In behind
Sniping at each other.
Exactly.
That would
Exactly.
be great.
You were filming when your baby arrived. Is this right?
Yes.
Bit early.
Right in the middle of filming, and I thought, something isn't right. I started getting sort of contraction pains. I thought, this is way too early. And I was having to lie down on the bed on the set. And I said, I think I might have to go to hospital. And I went, my waters broke. And so, yeah, I had my baby Benji. I'm not a stalker, I promise.
Slightly nervous about what we're encouraging here, but you have got a little baby Benji.
Yes, who was born 7 weeks
Congratulations.
prematurely, which was so hard. But I tell you what, he's brilliant now. I mean, he's annoying. He's waking me up at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
He's
Benjis do
brilliantly
that.
annoying, healthily annoying.
But didn't that mean that had an impact on the cast? Because of
Yeah.
course, when you just had a baby, you can't go straight back to work.
Oh, God, do you know, it was so stressful because then it was like cast availability. Like, we lost loads of the cast, so I was having to be in hospital and kind of rewrite this, you know, what... So a lot of episode 1 is kind of rewrites to
really?
after I was preggers. So it's a bit bonkers, but just, yeah, it was, you know... It sort of worked.
So is Nick going to get away with the murder?
Oh, I can't tell you that.
Is it going to be touch and go for a minute?
I can't. What I can tell you,
Yeah, go on,
which
give
you're
us a
going to
bit.
love, and this country fans are going to love this. Kerry and Curtin, the characters Kerry and Curtin, are coming into Am I Being Unreasonable season 2. So it's going to be a comedy crossover. So this country fans, you'll be happy.
So Charlie's in it.
Charlie's in it. He also, as well as playing Curtin in it, he also plays a Dutch man with a mullet and a shell suit. But he was so bad at a Dutch accent that we had to write in like episode 4 that he's not really Dutch.
Did you tell him what he was going to have to wear before he came on, or did you just...
No, I did not before, no. And then he was very... I just saw him very cross coming out of the makeup trailer, this great big mullet and a very flammable shell suit.
And he wasn't the only one that caused a bit of trouble. There was a hedgehog as well, apparently, who was very starry and dramatic and a bit of a diva.
Absolutely right. The completely true story, right? I wanted to have a hedgehog in it. Find out. So they track this hedgehog down, who's a model / actor, I mean, say, and he charged £1,000, right?
£1,000?
£1,000. He wanted his own trailer. He had 5 people in his entourage, right? This is insane. He turns up and all he does is just sniff a bit of grass for about 5 minutes. And then the handler said, yeah, I think he's a bit tired now. He needs to go back to his trailer. And I said, he hasn't done anything. And he's earned £1,000.
We'll be cheaper than that.
Yeah,
and
lot cheaper.
And not so demanding.
Oh, I'd love that.
I can sniff the ground all day. I'm very good at those things.
Easy peasy. We'll come on our own. No worries.
But the hedgehog did make it into... Because I've seen the scene with the
We
hedgog.
spent £1,000 on him.
You've got to make it in.
Yeah. I've never met anybody so arrogant in my life.
So demanding.
Such an ego.
Us next time.
Yeah. We're
Will
ready.
be.
Daisy, thank you for popping in.
Thank you
so
It's
much.
always a pleasure to see you.
Oh, what a joy.
Don't forget your room diffuser.
I
It can go in your
promise I won't.
office. You'll be so productive.
Something to add to the merch line.
with
isn't
those
it?
wafts
Yeah.
of Oda Shepherd.
Dear, oh dear. Am I Being Unreasonable returns tomorrow night on 9:30, BBC One, and you'll find it on the BBC iPlayer as well. If you haven't seen Series 1, go back and watch Series 1.
I did.
Honestly,
Binged
it's an
it.
absolute gem.
So good.
Daisy, thanks
you.
for coming.
Thank
Hello.
you so
Thank you for
much.
visiting our this morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
Quaint Cambridgeshire village with one of the highest crime rates in Britain.
Yeah, just be careful if you go
Nightmare
there. Murder is never far away from Grantchester, but thankfully our next guest is always around to help solve the case.
And as the 9th series of the hit show continues, we're joined by D.I. Geordie Keating himself, Mr. Robson Green. Good
How are you?
morning,
Lovely to see
sir.
you.
Still here, still surviving, Ben. Still here.
Well, he was 50 this time. How long
right,
ago?
crikey.
You were 60.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you remember being young and looking at someone who was 60 and thinking, how are you still alive? Seriously.
He quite enjoyed being 50, though. Do you quite enjoy being 60?
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool. I don't think of it as 60. We're every age we've ever been in our lives.
Do you think there's a big shift, though? Well, I certainly felt this when I turned 50. Then actually, there's a big shift. You hit your 50s. My boys are 18 and 19. They're sort of... Annie and I are on a bit different stage of life. I think you're sort of... What you want to do, what you're thinking about doing, your ambitions, everything shifts slightly.
Well, I'm very privileged. I mean, I live in economic stability. I've survived for 40 years. I do something that I love doing, and that keeps you young.
Yeah.
That keeps you young. I genuinely enjoy what I'm doing, and I continue to enjoy it.
We had Tom and Rishi on the other
We
week.
did.
Oh, yeah, good lads on there.
And they were sitting there and they were talking about what a lovely time they have working on the show. And also, Tom was talking about that moment when he left and how he turns around to you and goes, I hope I've made you proud. And he said the two of you were just in bits.
It was a difficult scene to film. Listen, the reason why I think it's so successful, it is so collaborative. I mean, last Wednesday, more people in this country watched Grantchester than any other programme at 9 o'clock.
Fabulous.
And that's real testament to the writing, to these endearing relationships, to meaningful relationships, to skilled writing, but a team that genuinely loves, is committed and cares about the show. And I think that resonates in front of the lens. I think it's everything.
Yeah.
And you know, I've survived for 40 years, and it doesn't take an Oxford Don to work out why. I've been surrounded by great writers. Some of them Oscar-nominated, be it Lee Hall, Jeff Pope, Paul Abbott, and now we've got the wonderful Daisy Coulman. And it's down to the writing, must it?
But also it's down to that relationship and connection that you guys have as a team, because he was saying how complicated it was. You were doing this final scene and you were all choked up, and then the crew were all choked up as well. And you do it day in, day out. You've done it for years, but there's still that sort of that chemistry and that relationship that exists.
You're saying goodbye to someone you love and a journey that you've loved going on. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
And that was tough. And the whole team was saying goodbye to Tom, and we were wishing him well. And there he is off filming in Thailand. But it's a goodbye to the journey and that wonderful relationship that we've created, and the joy and the laughter. We're still best of friends, of course we are. And then, you know, and then comes along this really wonderful new energy with Rishi Nair.
Yeah.
And by all accounts, you've not made it easy for him, Robson. You like to prank him on set.
Yes.
Explain.
My favourite gag is on set is when you're just talking and they're getting ready to do the scene, and then I'll just go, they've shouted action. And he goes in on the scene and he starts acting the scene. Nobody knows what he's doing.
And
That's
no one's
quite
actually
funny to
by the
behold. Yeah, nobody's bothered. I love doing that gag.
He's the Clooney of Grantchester. That's
Exactly
what he is.
that.
Yeah, no, I knew Rishi was going to do well. I've been an exec on the show. You have a say in the casting. And he came in, we just had a chat before we went in and met the execs. And he went, you're a Newcastle fan, aren't you? And I never met Rishi. And I went, yeah, who's your team? And it was Man U. And he started going on about, you know, how terrible Man U were doing. I went, mate, I'm a Newcastle fan. The last time Newcastle won anything, King Harold still had two eyes. You know? So we got on, and it was just instant chemistry.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that is deeply apparent in Grantchester, through Geordie, he tells the audience, you're going to like this guy. You're going to like this guy. And it was instant. And I said that in the audition. I said to Emma Kingsman-Lloyd and Daisy Coulman, who are the real reason why this show was a success. They were right there from the start, you know. I said, you're going to like this guy. He's got it. And sometimes you can't quantify what it is, you know. But and he cares so much. And everybody cares. You know?
It's just a great fit, which is lovely. You had about 200 American fans rock up
my
on set
gosh,
one day.
Yes. Gosh, you've done your research. So, yeah, we were on set filming, and 4 busloads of Americans turned up, super fans of Grantchester, and all they wanted was a photograph of actually being outside the church. They didn't know we were actually filming there. So they all turned up, and they couldn't have been more complimentary and more loving and caring, and it was such a joyous experience. And then they all held their phones up, and they went, hey, Robson, say Christ on a bike. And there was just this silence, and I just went, Christ on a bike. And they went, yeah! They went nuts.
It's amazing.
Nuts. Yeah, it's a
We love it.
We've
run out of time, so will you come back and talk about your weekend escapes with us?
Yeah, absolutely. Comfort Blanket for the Soul every night, 6:30 on BBC Two.
We love it. That's coming up. Grantchester continues tomorrow at 9 o'clock on ITV1 and ITVX.
And you can watch the new series of Robson Green's Weekend Escapes on Monday at 6:30 on BBC Two and BBC iPlayer.
Please come back and talk to us about that.
Of course I'll come back.
Fabulous.
I need the publicity.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning. And the Kingfisher himself, Sir Grayson Perry, joins us now. I was watching on Saturday night, along with the rest of the nation, with my little boys. And when you took your head off, it was just like, I was like, that is an amazing booking. But secondly, you looked as though you just had the best time, even when the mask came off and you performed.
Yeah, it was such fun. It's a low effort sort of celebrity thing because you don't get pestered. Nobody knows you're doing it. And so you just turn up, you wait around, you do the thing, and everybody's lovely, and then and you get to sing, which I love.
Did you keep it a secret? I mean, I know that everyone's very strict about it, but how many people had you told, Grayson, that you were doing it?
I mean, a couple of people, my wife knew, my assistant knew, but my daughter guessed because her girlfriend in the middle of the night was scrolling and came across it. It meant she knew from karaoke whose voice that was. So she went, like,
It's your dad.
Yeah. And did you have a choice in your costume? Because obviously we know you for your fashion sense as well. Did you choose what you wanted him to look like or what character you were going to be?
I was presented with a couple of designs and I chose the cutest. You know, cute is important because you've got the children in the audience who are voting, so you want to win them over.
So keep a cute costume. So that your top tip for anyone in the future is have a cute costume because you get kept in if you've got a cute costume.
Yeah, because I was watching the previous years and Alex Brooker, he did really well. I think he was Bigfoot, but it was quite a cute costume.
Yeah.
And so, you know, he kept coming in. He was a good singer too.
He was. And you were as well. Clearly singing is something that you enjoy.
I'm a late learner because I was doing one of my stage shows and it was about Brexit and it had a downbeat ending. And I thought, I should have ended on a song. And so my wife said, why don't you learn? So I started learning when I was 59.
You go to lessons,
Yeah.
though?
I could not sing a note.
Did you tell your singing teacher you were doing The Masked Singer?
Yeah, she loved it, yeah.
I bet she did. So you had extra songs. So you've fallen in love with singing.
Yeah.
But singing in the mask is quite an interesting experience, I'd imagine.
Yeah, you're isolated, you know, because you've got in-ear speakers and then you've got very limited vision and you can't... Yeah, so it's like you're singing to yourself a bit and you can vaguely see ghosts of the audience out there.
Does that make it less intimidating or did you quite enjoy the being in front of everyone and singing?
I think singing is communicating. You're looking people in the eye and you're communicating. So I think actually, I've noticed that people, when they take the mask off, I think they sing better, a little bit better.
I think it looked like you were really enjoying it. Once you took the mask off on Saturday. You've got other songs that you'd prepped, though, hadn't you?
Oh, yeah, because they're always keeping you ahead in case you stay in. So I had a couple of songs for the next week, yeah.
So what were your songs that you've got?
I was going to do Stixies and Feed the Birds.
Can you give us a bit of Feed the Birds?
Feed the birds. Early each day to the steps of St. Paul's, the little old bird woman comes.
It's quite a lovely
In
voice.
her own special way to the people she calls. Come buy my bags full of crumbs.
Oh, put it on.
Oh,
put
my
it.
God, it's absolutely
Beautiful
lovely.
tone. You have such a gorgeous tone, Grayson.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it. Singing is such a... It's the best thing I've done since therapy.
Is that what, finding...
Learning to sing, yeah. I quite often well up while I'm doing the lesson. When you hit the spot with a song and the teacher gives you, good feedback that gets you in the right place, there's nothing like it.
Well, I guess it's the vibration.
It's your body, you see.
Yeah,
it's a holistic experience. It's like your intellect, your emotions and your body. They're all engaged in it.
Yeah.
But you don't get... the sad thing from The Masked Singer is you don't get to mix with the other singers, do you?
No.
You're all kept separate backstage. So have you been watching... have you been watching the other singers and guessing along as we go?
Trying. I didn't have a clue. I mean, Macy Gray has a very distinctive voice,
does.
but I thought, is she really going to do it? Because she's amazing,
Yeah.
But then, when they took the mask off...
Yeah. And she stormed off, of course, as well.
She looked pretty cross, yeah.
But you stayed longer than Macy and Carol Decker. You must feel proud.
One of my proudest achievements. But then again, I'm under no illusion that it's a singing competition.
It's certainly very entertaining. Is it going to be part of the new show, though,
Yes.
Grayson?
Oh,
Is
yes.
Kingfisher coming with you?
For my last couple of shows, I've always done songs. I write songs and work with a composer, and it's depending on the theme. So the theme this year is Are You Good? So I'm trying to think about songs that sing about that notion, yeah.
And will you try and take Kingfisher with you? Will Kingfisher appear?
No, because when you're on the stage, I like to be... because you're expressing with your body. So I once did a tryout gig, and one of my friends gave me the feedback, wear a shorter dress, because he said, because you're speaking with your whole body when you're on stage. Your legs are part of the vocabulary.
Yeah. And are there going to be buttons? Because you're going to decide whether people are really good or bad,
I
right?
get people to vote the whole time through the show. Are you good? What have you got good taste? Who did you vote for? I find out a lot about the audience. So I know, I always ask them straight up, who did you vote for in the last election? So I know who I'm talking to.
I wouldn't argue with him.
No. We've loved it, Grayson. Thank you so much for coming in and bringing Kingfisher as well.
I would recommend to anybody, you two, you should do it. It's a great show to be a part of.
But some people think she is.
I might be tougher fish. You never know, Grayson.
Your boys aren't convinced either way, are they?
No, not yet. Thank you.
Lovely to see you.
Hello.
Thank you for visiting this This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning. Guests are here to talk about dating, how to win in the dating game, which is why it's interesting. Mel Schilling and Elizabeth Day are here with How to Date is your podcast. But just on that, Mel, people do meet partners in the gym. This all came about because there's a study saying that a huge number of women get approached in gyms and have inappropriate comments made to them in the gym, and it's very intimidating. But as a space to find somebody to date, would a gym be a good place?
Well, it's a good point. It could be a great place because if you've got people with similar values, maybe they value health and fitness, they go to the gym, they're going to meet people in the right place. But I just have a problem with grunting.
It's very specific. That's niche.
Yes.
I have a problem with them taking up all the weights. Like, I actually love doing weights, but I do feel intimidated.
Do you feel intimidated? So do you think that the men spread too much, take too many weights?
Yeah, they're man-spreading in the weights
area. They're making the wrong sort of noises.
But you might meet your future romantic partner there. So swings and roundabouts.
Right.
There is a balance, of course, right?
If you don't meet them in a gym, luckily we're here to help.
Oh,
there are other ways
there's
to meet
the
them.
segue.
See how she did
She's a
that.
professional.
You could be listening to the podcast in the gym, of course, which is a double whammy.
Okay, there's a
So just explain a little bit then, Elizabeth, because this How to Date is the third in your series, your amazing podcast series. How to Fail is your podcast that I really enjoy, which is where you met, I think.
Yes.
Explain a little bit about what the plan is or what's the thought and theory behind How to Date.
I'm so thrilled that Mel has agreed to do her first ever podcast with me. So How to Date is 8 weeks, and essentially it's a toolkit to change your romantic life. We teach you everything that you need to know about navigating modern romance. Mel has the expertise, the warmth, the insight. I'm there to share a few funny anecdotes because we both went through it as well. We were both single in our late 30s and we both met our husbands online. So we feel that we've got a lot to share, and it can be really difficult understanding how to date, and that's what we're here to help with.
I love this idea that you've been there and done that, and you've got the T-shirt, and actually you've ended up in really happy relationships. So what would be your advice for people who are thinking about maybe going online to date?
Well, a big premise underlying this How to Date podcast is to date yourself first.
Yes, I love that.
Yes, we talk a lot about really self-centred dating is a philosophy, I guess, that we're really preaching here. And yes, it's great to go out and meet your partner and to have the flirtation and all the exciting stuff. But if you don't work on yourself first, if you don't get clear on your dating goal and what it is that you really want, what your values are, then you're not going to meet a compatible partner. So that would be our first port of call, and certainly this podcast starts at the first date. Well, are you ready? And then takes you through the life cycle of a dating process.
One of the brilliant things about How to Fail, your other podcast, Elizabeth, is listening to very well-known, very successful people talking about all those moments in their life where things have gone horribly wrong and they've picked themselves up and they've learned from it. Your dating experience, I'm assuming...
What's the link?
Yes, I'm assuming there are moments that you share that maybe you can share where things have gone wrong for you, because you obviously found someone you're very content now, but you have to go through the bit of failure along the way.
100%, and that's something that Mel talks about so brilliantly, that rejection is part of the process. You can't escape it. And I definitely did have some rejections, and I also had one particularly memorable dating anecdote where a man, you know, we dated for quite a few weeks, and then he brought a camp bed to stay over in my flat. And I was like, why have you brought a camp bed with you? He's like, I just don't like your mattress. It's very uncomfortable. And it's just things like that.
It's so hot.
You know, you think it is a funny anecdote, but also there's a slight sort of value misalliance there. And that was a good wake-up call for me. But ultimately...
Well, because he didn't like your mattress, he's not going to like me.
I just thought, I can't be with this person who's sort of rolling off me onto this.
Oh, what a visual.
That's quite graphic.
That did
I'm so
escalate.
sorry. I'm reeling myself back in. It was what we call a pink flag, in that it wasn't quite a red flag, but it did alert a slight warning signal in my head. And then he ended up doing something much meaner afterwards, and I was like, oh, I was right to end it. But one of the things that we talk about in How to Date is about how to handle rejection and heartbreak.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I learned, which fed into How to Fail, was that we can learn something from every single experience. Even if it feels like a failure at the time, you acquire necessary data, and it might be that the data you acquire is about who you are, what you expect from a relationship, what you feel is worthy of you, and you can eliminate the people who are wrong for you from your inquiry. So if you start thinking of rejection in dating as data acquisition. It takes the sting out of it a bit.
Yeah. And Mel, when you on the podcast, you talk about how you were learning to be a dating coach at the same time, and you were kind of experimenting by being on social media yourself.
Yes, I put myself into the experiment. And so I was learning first-hand experience whilst I was learning the theory as well. And looking back, I think in many ways I hid behind that.
Yes.
Sort of saying, I'm not really serious about dating, I'm just doing some experimentation, but really, I desperately wanted to be in a relationship, but I was just giving off all the wrong signals.
You said you were smug, which I appreciate that openness. I can't imagine it because you're so lovely. But I was really intimidated by the dating scene, and you said you were quite smug.
I intimidated them somehow.
Well, look, we've got some questions from some of our viewers who are very keen to get your advice, if we can. This is from Robin. Robin says, I have alopecia. I'm struggling with talking about it on dates, especially knowing how long I have to wait before gaining enough confidence to show them my head without a wig. She clearly wears a wig. I've been single for 6 years. Dating is a struggle. I'm turning 35 this year, and I'm worried I won't find a man to accept me.
Yeah. Oh, Robin. This is a tough one because it's so personal, isn't it? And look, we talk with a lot of people who are dealing with an ongoing health issue in the dating world. And whilst it's difficult, I think one of the best pieces of advice that we could give you here is to lead with it. Now, I know you've probably got some feelings about that and it feels a bit tough, but really, when you break it down, if you are leading with, this is my situation, I have alopecia, this is what I live with, and that scares the person off, well, then that's the wrong person.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So clever.
Isn't she?
Yes. She just breaks it down. It's like, oh, of course.
So Robin's got to be braver, though. I mean, that's the issue.
Takes
She's obviously
bravery.
struggling with it anyway.
Yeah. Yes.
But to be able to lead with it, if you can, then you're going to meet the right people.
Yes.
I think she sounds like she's already brave and she can just apply that bravery in this way. I totally agree with you. I wish I'd had Mel in my ear when I was
Yes,
in
just
the wild.
like Jiminy Cricket on your shoulder a little bit.
In a pink dress.
Yeah, exactly. This next one's from Tara. She says, I've been single for nearly 7 years due to my marriage breaking down after my husband had numerous affairs. It's holding me back from going on dates. My friend has kindly written my dating profile, but I'm scared that nobody will find me attractive. I've also looked at going to a single and mingle event, but I'm quite shy when I first meet someone new. How do I build my confidence up after divorce?
Tara, the first thing I want to say to Tara is well done for what you've survived, and I'm so sorry that that happened to you.
Yeah.
It's so difficult navigating dating when you've gone through heartbreak or loss or divorce. I did it. I was divorced in my mid-30s. And the first thing I would say is it sounds like you've got really good friends, so definitely lean into that. Mel's a big advocate of having a date squad of people. They don't necessarily need to be doing the same things as you are, but they can cheerlead you, they can help you, they can reassure you when maybe your confidence is feeling a bit dented. Then I would say take some time to date yourself first.
Yes.
Take some time to really nurture yourself because it sounds like you've been in a marriage where your needs were not placed at the centre where they should have been. And sometimes that means that you've lost touch with your own desires. You don't really know what you like to do or how you like to spend your time. So I would encourage you to spend some time on yourself, whether it's going to the cinema on your own in the middle of the day, having a long bath, do the things that really nourish you. And then I would say it's completely understandable that you're a bit scared and vulnerable about putting yourself out there, but it sounds like you're already in the right mindset, and I salute you for that. And I promise you that there'll be someone out there who really respects your vulnerability and maybe has been through a similar thing. And so don't be scared about sharing your past, but make different decisions this time.
Excellent. Good advice.
Brilliant
Tara.
advice. Thank you both for coming in.
The
How to
podcast
Date's out
is
today.
brilliant.
Thank you, Kat.
Comes out today?
Yes.
Yes, there you go. So it's 8-parter.
All
How
the
to Date.
tools you need.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank
and
you.
let us know, if you're at home and you listen to the podcast, let us know how you get on with your dating. 'Cause I think
Please
we've got
do.
something special there. Thank you both.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
Future in London in there, you might
doubt it.
find. Listen, she is a beauty entrepreneur, a much loved This Morning family member. We adore her, don't we?
do.
We do. And last night, our very own Trini entered the Dragon's Den.
And the beauty mogul herself joins us now to tell us more. Dragon's Den!
Oh,
what a moment!
You've arrived, haven't you?
Oh, really?
You looked incredible, by the way.
It was all right.
When you walked in.
But it was such good fun, and I was a bit nervous.
Yeah.
Usually, you know, I'm long in the tooth on telly, but they're amazing dragons, and they've been there a long time, and they were so welcoming and so nice, and so excited I was there, which makes you feel so happy to be there.
What do you know? Do they brief you? Do you know who you're going to see?
You have no idea.
No idea.
Really?
Walking through the door.
And so you start, and the lady who not won, but who, you know, got the investment was not the one in the order in which we did it, because that's telly.
Yeah.
But we started, and you just kind of, one of us will start the questions, and then it goes round like that, and then it's opened up for whatever thing. So first of all, you think, how quickly can I step in or
You just
not?
gotta get in there,
and then
haven't
you just start, and then you think somebody can ask a question that I'll ask or not, you know. But it was good, and it's very nerve-wracking to be up there. I know how nerve-wracking it is to be up there.
I mean, you've been in business a long, long time. Yeah. If you had gone into the Den back in when you were starting out and asked for an investment, who would you wanted to back?
That's such a good question. I don't know. Maybe Sarah. I think Sarah's done beauty investments. Deborah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say any of them sort of, but perhaps because it was, direct to consumer online, maybe not Tuka.
Right.
Yeah, what was the deal with
Yeah,
Can you explain what that means?
All right, so I'll tell you what happened.
So
what happened is he was sort of challenging this woman, saying you're doing a lot direct to consumer and you're growing as a business, you haven't made money yet. So when you're a business that's online, you're getting customers, you have to grow that business.
Yes.
And, you know, she got a little bit of investment, so she was growing the business. And he was a little bit, I don't think there's a future in that business. And I was thinking, that's 75% of my business. It's what a lot of businesses in the UK are. They do online, mainly. And so I was like...
Why is he saying there's no future? Because it would appear to me that's the growth industry.
Because that was his opinion, and I've known him for 30 years. We have to just know what goes on behind the scenes. I've known him for 30 years.
Yeah.
And so
I felt
I could challenge him because I knew him, and I was like, come on, Tuka, you know. And
it was great TV.
It was really fun to do, actually, but it was not... You know how sometimes things are for television? This is just what happens. It's just like you're having a chat, there's somebody in front, they're pitching you a business, and you're thinking, and you've got probably 45 minutes, an hour with them, because it's cut down, to really decide, in that moment, do you invest in that business? And it was precious money for me, because I'd done this course with BBC Maestro on thriving in business, and what they paid me for that was the little pot of money I was going to use to invest.
Mm-hmm.
So it was quite precious where I put it.
Yeah.
You know, and it was... You know, when you go on a show like that, you have a commitment that they will expect you to invest in something.
Yeah.
And you partly thinking, I might invest in this person, but I don't know what's coming, so therefore I've got to hold my fire a little bit? Or do you, like, is that instinct or...?
No, I think as soon as you feel there's somebody in front of you and you think, as a person, they've got drive and determination, and I love the product they're doing. So Laura had, a plastic-free cleaning thing, and I thought, I really want to learn about plastic-free, and I want to learn about what that is. So I loved it, and she was so feisty, and I could tell she was really hardworking and researchy. You've got to have that balance, you know.
Yeah.
And when you're an entrepreneur, and she had it.
What do you like to specialise in? Is it women-based products? Is it women's?
It's definitely women, because
and led by women as well.
Led by women, because there's some sort of stats. It's slightly boring stats, but they're really important stats. So probably between 3 and 5% of every pound invested is into women as female founders, which is really tiny.
Yeah.
And if you just think about how many women out there are trying to start businesses, and if they have a stage, a lot of people, you know, I bootstrapped, I sold my house, I sold my clothes, I started my business that way, and after a while, I then fundraised. But I saw 250 people before I got one investment, you know, and...
So imagine if you had given up on 249.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do we change that, Trini?
I think we change it by... I do this little thing online on my channel called Elevator Pitches. So I get women to come into my office, and in the elevator, which is 3 stories, they have to tell me about the business, and I put it on stories, and then we do links to their businesses.
What
it's about giving... It's 2 things. It's about making any woman feel, whatever age she is, that she could start a business, because I started at 50.
Yeah.
And it's also thinking that how can we actually over-index on women, so how can the government help to do better opportunities for people to invest in women's business with maybe a tax rebate or something, just to kind of support that industry and grow it and make it a little bit more equal.
Brilliant. God, I could talk to you all day about this.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us. You were great on Dragon's Den. I loved it.
You can watch Trini's episode of Dragon's Den right now on...
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.
Jessie joins us now. Jessie, I saw the film last night. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. That's so nice of you. Thank you so much.
You appeared to be quite wowed by the reaction. Obviously, something you didn't expect.
Yes, because I like using evidence and history to not expect this. I've been writing for like 20 years, and this has not happened. So, like, I have incredibly low expectations for myself. And but this is like amazing. Yeah, I'm so happy.
So what's different now? What do you think's happened as people finally realise that Jessie's someone not to be...
I think it's like the kind of thing where, like, if you just throw spaghetti at the wall every year, at some point somebody's going to think it tastes good.
Yeah.
But it's such a beautiful film. It's because it's about a relationship that I think so many people can resonate with. It's as much about loss and grief and kind of generational traumatic grief, but it's also about people living with in the shadow of that now.
Yeah,
and what pain is, I suppose, right?
Yeah, exactly. Thank you so much for saying that. Yeah, exactly. Like, it's these two characters, and the movie plays like, as you said, like kind of a buddy comedy. But it's like these two characters who are both kind of like suffering through their own modern difficulties. But I set the movie against the backdrop of this, like, Holocaust tour, so it puts their kind of individual modern pain in perspective, in this kind of world history perspective.
And you're getting recognised as a writer massively for this, and an Oscar nomination. Congratulations.
Oh, thanks a lot.
With regards to that. How does that actually feel, being acknowledged for your writing?
Again, a complete shock. It's like, I've been also playing basketball for 20 years, and no one's ever given me an MVP award. So to me, it's like, I just kind of can't believe that it's happening. It's so nice. It allows me, because I write all the time, so it allows me the opportunity to do more films.
Yeah.
So that's like the great gift, is not so much being like celebrated or whatever, but actually just getting to do it again.
It's really interesting with the backdrop of the Holocaust and the tour. And I felt that because there's a really interesting kind of comparison of people going, well, I'm really enjoying this, like, to a point. We're staying in nice hotels and we're eating good food. And there was a great moment on the scene on the train where Kieran's character actually feels guilty because they're in first class, and especially with Holocaust Memorial Days, just happened.
Is that just juxtaposition?
I've been on I've been to Auschwitz, and you do have that weird moment where you're for 3-4 hours you are walking around in complete silence and contemplation, and then you go back and you have a swim in a hotel and you have nice food, and it's kind of blows your mind a little bit.
Yeah, and my feeling is like there's no great way to do trauma tourism, and I've done it everywhere. This is what I'm interested in for some weird reason. I had a weird childhood, maybe. I've been to Rwanda, Cambodia, Sarajevo, and I'm fascinated by this kind of tourism. And there's no great way to do it. You cannot actually experience the pain that people felt. There's no way to do it. So you end up doing all this weird stuff, like you go to a nice dinner after, and then you feel weird. And the movie is not trying to answer any question or prescribe the best way to do this kind of trauma tourism, but it's just accounting for the strange irony of, how do you do this stuff while trying to show respect and understand what that must have been like for people.
Yeah, it's because it's quite a heavy subject matter, yet you still find those humour moments during the film.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the movie plays mostly like a comedy. There are many movies made about this topic, like Holocaust, themed movies, and I just wanted to make something that I'd never seen before, something that felt modern and fresh and not like academic and not self-important. I wanted to make a movie that felt like people I know who would go on these things.
Well, what I love about it is it is this buddy movie between people who, because they're bonded by blood, you have this kind of, like, Kieran's character is kind of walks into a room and everyone loves him. It's just like, he's so kind of vivacious. And then suddenly he'll say something inappropriate or he'll get really offended by something. And then your character's there just kind of mopping up the pieces, like the product, like,
and no one really likes me. Like, everybody loves Kieran, even though he's so obnoxious. He criticizes people, he says all these horrible things, but everybody just finds him charming because, I don't know, this is my life experience. It's like people who are like that, everybody seems to love. And then, like, I walk in the room and, like, for some reason, just the life gets sucked out of it. I don't know what it is. In my head, I'm doing the same thing as the charming person, but for some reason, I must have a bad aura.
That's not true. It
is true. If you get to know me and see me at a party,
you've got nice
you'll realize.
Vibes now.
You know what? This is
all the charm I can muster right now. Right. I'm gonna leave this room.
Are you really trying right now?
This is my
Oh, listen, take it with you. It's all we need.
This is my social best.
You've got so many great people. Will Sharp's plays such a great
Isn't he brilliant?
character.
Yeah, he's brilliant.
And you have, is it Jennifer Grey from Dirty Dance?
Yes, Jennifer Grey.
I can't believe it. No one puts Baby in the corner, though.
Not anymore. And we also have two amazing, the Olivier Award-winning actress Liza Sadovy and one of the most brilliant young actors here. He played, Othello at the Globe. Kurt Eguiwan. He's on Game of Dragons. I'm sorry, I don't know the names of the. Yeah, brilliant, amazing actor.
And is your baby in this as well?
Yes, my child is. Would he be a toddler? What he did when he was 6. Yes, and then at the time was kind of annoyed that I was asking him. He plays my kid, obviously. And at the time was kind of annoyed that I was asking him to do it. And now that the movie's out, and
oh, he's loving it.
No, he wants a bigger part. Yeah,
because he's only on FaceTime.
On FaceTime.
But I read that lovely story where there's this kind of lovely generational thing where you're filming that and you were in Queens, I think, where your dad was.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, exactly right. Yeah. So the movie, my kid plays my kid. We filmed the movie outside where my dad grew up, and then when we were in Poland, we actually filmed the movie at the house my ancestors lived in up until 1939. So there's many generations of Eisenbergs. I imagine no one in the world cares, including the Eisenbergs, but that's what I tried to do.
Well, they do, because there's a resonation there.
Yeah, maybe there's some...
It's as much about family and history, and I think that's why it resonates.
Yeah, that's so sweet of you to say.
And did you want the other character? You wanted to play the other character?
Yes, the other character is the charming guy who everybody likes. Of course,
but you just said that you can't do that.
I could act it.
Do you reckon you could act that character?
Yes, I could act several different kinds of things. And I could do a Cockney accent. But, I could do a nice soft shoe if you want that. But basically, I wanted to play that part, and I was told... So our producer is Emma Stone, the great Emma Stone, and she told me, don't play that part.
Why?
Because I was directing the movie. When you're directing, you're managing a circus, and the character that Kieran plays is so unhinged and spontaneous that she said you're not going to be able to switch back and forth.
It's too much.
So I was demoted by her, and which is great because now Kieran played it.
But now that you've done that, do you think it was the right decision to make?
No, I'd hate being demoted, but the movie's popular, so I guess every decision was correct. But no, I'm resentful.
Do you like directing and acting in the same thing?
I do.
Your brain obviously works that way.
I do. I like acting and directing because, just selfishly, it allows me to control the scenes a little more. It's like having a man on the inside. Normally with actors, you're kind of nervous to talk to them when you're directing. Are they going to get mad at me for talking to them? And me, I was my guy on the inside. I could pace the scenes how I want to, and stand where I want my character to stand.
I guess when you do that, though, you have to have so much trust in everyone else around you.
I have trust in everybody around me. I'm not good at cinematography. I'm not good at production design. I'm not good at costumes. I know all of that, and I'm just so thankful that all these people are coming in to do their amazing jobs, including the other actors.
Did Jesse, the director, ever get annoyed with Jesse, the actor?
Jesse, the director, was always annoyed with Jesse, the actor. Because Jesse, the director, is like Jesse, the person, which is Jesse doesn't like to see that Jesse from the side angle. You know what I mean? Because Jesse only knows Jesse from the mirror. And it's weird to see him from the side.
Did Jesse, the director, just say, listen, that's the shot, deal with it?
Deal with it, Jesse.
Somebody else did tell me that. My producers were off camera going, you have to point the camera at yourself. Because I didn't want to, because it felt vain. And they were like, you need to be in the movie, too.
And is your next film a musical?
Yeah, so that's my other love, is musical theatre. When I say my other love, I guess my first love would be Holocaust tourism. I don't know. But yeah, so my other thing I'm obsessed with is musical theatre. So
what's your favourite musical?
My favourite is called Pacific Overtures by Stephen Sondheim. It's an obscure Sondheim. I'm not on a bandwagon, and it's the greatest musical ever written. But I also love this musical. Floyd Collins is coming back to Broadway. Seeing Oliver tonight here.
Yeah, great.
Oh, you've seen Oliver?
Yes, I'm very excited. I want to see your show.
I want you to... Oh, well, I've got until Sunday. I'll get you a ticket for Sunday.
I love Peter Pan.
Oh, well, wonderful. Come and see the panto. I'll do you a freebie. I'll pay for it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll pay for it.
That was the only thing stopping me. Thank you.
I'd add one caveat. I mean, it is Peter Pan, but there's a lot of license taken.
Yeah.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Yeah, but you're going to love it.
Story.
We're going to have a lovely time. Don't worry.
Yeah.
It's lovely to meet you.
You too.
Lovely to meet you. A Real Pain is in cinemas.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
And so Steve joins us now. And Steve, before we start, I know you wanted to just say a few words about the poor skaters who...
Yeah, the
who died in the
condolences
air
from the whole skating on ice team is on that flight. There were a number of young skaters that are just starting their career around 15. Some of our pro skaters have commentated them in competitions. And some of the coaches, some are world champions. Some of our coaches skated against them in their youth. So absolute Bovingdon devastation.
Quite close to
Scotland. Very close community.
Yeah.
Our hearts go out to all their families, definitely. Welcome to the sofa. It's so lovely to see you. And you know what? I'm going to say it's lovely to see you on the ice. It's just lovely to see you in general.
Well, the general public seem to be loving it anyway. I'm not sure about the judges.
How are you finding your experience? Because, I mean, let's be honest, it doesn't look easy.
It's not easy. I've probably done about 80 hours of ice training up to this point, and I still look like a beginner.
Do you know what? It's getting that click, isn't it? There's a moment where it clicks in. It just hasn't clicked in with you,
It's
has it?
starting to click in for me. Probably the end of December, when we're sort of breaking up for Christmas and New Year.
Yeah.
I was on that curve, and then we stopped for a few weeks, and then you're coming in, then you're straight into live shows. So the judges are trying to get me to do some more skating on my own, which this week I'm doing. But thank you to the public for keeping me in. I'm absolutely loving it. The whole team behind the scenes are absolutely fantastic. And I want to stay there for another week. If I can stay there for another week, my eldest daughter can come. She's a trauma plastic surgeon down in Swansea, and she hasn't had the opportunity for being there. So if I can get through one more week.
I love the story. It's like when you first started, they were like, here's your tickets. And you're like, can I get them all for show one? Just in case.
That's all my mates.
Just in case. Has the discipline of being a rower, you know, one of the greatest rowers of all time, has that helped this at all? Obviously, it's a completely different discipline, but the actual focus and training and what it takes.
I think the mental side of it, of one of the things with there isn't that many ice rinks around the country, so getting ice time is really difficult. And one of the things on the show is everyone has to do the same amount of hours.
Right.
So if you're starting right at the beginning, you're learning how to skate, where some of the others that had better skating skills to start off are working on their routines and tricks and everything.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just working on trying to stand
learning
up.
how to skate.
And so that was the sort of the thing. I had a couple of falls, sort of winded myself, and got a few ice burns on my knees and stuff like that.
We've actually got some footage of these falls, apparently.
This was in rehearsal, the dress rehearsal last Sunday, just before the show.
Have you just fallen down there?
It's a bit dark,
Slid
but
down.
I'm supposed to be the godfather.
Where are you? At the table. Let's see what she slide down. Oh, hello.
That's great.
Vicky, the pro skater that I'm with, she turned round and saw all she could see was my feet coming out the front of the desk. I'm supposed to be the godfather, but the desk that they built, they actually made the desk, was massive. I thought I was one of the borrowers from it. And then the chair that we only got on the Saturday day before the show is that I had to sit right on the edge of the cushion. And because the desk moved, the chair's fixed, I pushed the desk out the way. And the cushion came up, and we all went underneath.
Oh, my gosh.
Killing myself.
But you've had no injuries yet?
A few injuries, yeah.
It's a dangerous sport, isn't it?
Is it nice to be back, having that kind of discipline? Because you probably had most of your life.
I'm loving the routine of being into that routine, which I hated by the end of my rowing career, of just doing the same thing day after day for 25 years. And then being out of that for another 25 years and getting back into the routine. I've loved the training, I've loved the preparation, I've loved everyone around of all the pro skaters and the celebrities. It's a great atmosphere. I know on all these shows everyone says that, but truly everyone is absolutely delightful to be with.
Yes.
When was the last time you had a good dance? Was it at your wedding?
37 years ago. I don't think it was a good dance.
How did it go? So that's the last time
I can't even remember of what we actually danced to, which was horrifying. I had to ask my wife of what we actually danced to, and she said, I can't remember. Thank God for that.
Thank goodness. Could you imagine if she remembered and you didn't? So, I mean, that's a long time. Basically, you've had a long time dancing, and you've had a little bit of ill health as well, so that's never going to help, is it?
Yeah, I've had 28 years of diabetes, so that doesn't help. But losing the sensation in my feet, only very mildly. So when you've got ice dancing skates on, it's very difficult to find. And there's rakes, picks at the toe of the ice skate. I found them a little bit too often. And as soon as you catch them, that stops you, and you go down. You go down pretty.
You've got a frozen
heavily.
shoulder as well, haven't you?
I've got a frozen shoulder, and one of the things when I do fall, I do not fall on my shoulder.
Yeah.
Oh my
Because that would
gosh,
put me out of the show immediately.
I mean, that's an Olympic sport in itself, avoiding the shoulders. You know what I mean? Listen, we wish you all the well. We want to keep you in. Because obviously your daughter needs to see you.
No, it's, one more week at least, please.
Oh, definitely. Well, listen, you can catch Steve on Dancing on Ice, which continues on Sunday at 6:25 on ITV1 and ITV.
Oh, hello.
Let me see.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning. Jennifer Aniston, one of the most glamorous women in the world, she's been saying that her new fitness method, P-Volve, has transformed her body more than anything else she's ever tried.
And now the workout has been backed up by a study at Exeter University, which found that the regime helped women going through the menopause.
So in just a moment, Jennifer's trainer, Antonietta Vicario, is going to be showing us some of the exercises. Looking forward to trying that. First, though, Dr. Zoe's here to try and explain a little bit more about this study. So what have they found, Zoe?
So the University of Exeter, they do a lot of sports science studies, so a really good university to do this. And they enrolled 72 women between the ages of 40 and 60 who none of them were taking HRT, so that wouldn't affect the results. So some pre-menopausal, peri and post-menopausal women. And it's the first study of its kind because that's particularly what it was looking at as women go through the menopause transition. What I often get asked, what's the best form of exercise to do at that time of your life? It was a 12-week study where half of the women roughly did the P-Volve protocol and the other half followed the government guidelines of 150 minutes. And I'm really excited. I mean, it's worth mentioning it was funded by P-Volve, but I don't think that's these studies have to be done.
Yes.
It's really important that women, as well as men, are looked at and this research is done about what's going to help women. So I don't have an issue.
Just because they paid for the study doesn't mean they can control the results.
Exactly. They're not controlling the results. So worth mentioning, but that doesn't concern me. I think it's great that the study's been done. So what they found is with this particular protocol, it increased hip strength, increased muscle mass, so body weight stayed the same, but muscle mass went up, increased balance, increased flexibility, and increased quality of life. Wow. All things which we kind of tend to associate with menopause going down. So I think what it shows is a lot of these changes that we often think of as inevitable with menopause, loss of muscle mass, loss of bone mass. With this protocol, that's not the case. It's resistance training, it's based on Pilates, and I think what's so great about it is it's that combination of muscle strengthening, some cardiovascular elements, and a lot of unilateral, so using one side of the body, so that brings in a balance element as well. So great news.
So if you didn't want to do P-Volve, but you wanted to do something else yourself at home, what would be your tips?
So I would be looking at resistance training programmes. Right. But this is low impact as well, which will encourage a lot of people. Resistance training programmes that incorporate those three elements: strength, balance and cardiovascular. And there's stuff available on YouTube that you can get for free. There are classes that you'll be able to go to in your local gyms. I think we'll probably see lots of classes popping up that are based on this. And, you know, the equipment package that you get from P-Volve is about 250 quid.
Okay.
And then it's £15 a month for their subscription. So the cost itself will motivate a lot of people to stick with it.
Yeah.
But for people who can't afford that, I think there'll be lots of alternatives that people can create themselves as well.
Sounds really positive, though, like you say, particularly for that study, the first of its sort.
Well,
so here you can sort that out.
Women need studies that support them to know how they themselves can look after themselves the best as they're going through this transition in life.
And it's even in the future as well, because it improves your balance, so you're less likely to fall, all of those things as well.
So the fact that it focused on hip strength particularly, because of course that is one of the big concerns as we go through menopause, is the risk of osteoporosis, the risk of falls if our balance isn't great, and then breaking a hip, which is drastically bad.
Yeah.
Good news, it sounds like. Well, should we give it a bit of a go?
Give it a go.
Give it a go. I think so.
OK, we're going to be giving it a go. We're chatting to one of Jennifer Aniston's trainers, Antonietta Vicario. Let's go over there now.
We're sneaking around here. Morning, Antonietta.
Good morning. Hello.
Good morning. Hello.
Hello, it's Kat and Ben here. How are you doing?
I'm doing so well. I'm so happy to be here with you.
It's lovely to meet you. Could I just check, what time is it there in New York? at the moment?
I believe it is 7 a.m. over here.
Okay,
so the sun is coming through my window.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Perfect time to exercise, Antonietta.
So what we're doing...
Exactly.
So what we're doing here is I've got the proper equipment. Ben has got the Blue Peter version.
Yeah,
You're going to improvise a bit.
Just to show you. So what exercise are you going to take us through, Antonietta?
Well, I'm going to take you through our resistance-based equipment. So I believe, Kat, you have the P-ball. You're going to move it over to the side and step 1 foot through. And Ben, I believe you have a resistance band.
Yes.
So just go ahead and put that around your ankles. And like we were discussing, it really is resistance that helps to increase muscle mass.
Hold on, Kat's just struggling a set.
I've got boots on there.
She's got boots and a jumpsuit, which isn't... There you go, that's it.
Should I take them
And just
off?
round our ankles, not your knees.
Just around the ankles, yes. I know getting the equipment on is an exercise in itself, Kat. So you'll have this strap around the ankles, and we're going to take a little sit back.
Yeah.
So you're loading into your glutes. And then I want you to step as wide as you can out with 1 foot and then the other.
Okay.
So
number 3.
Yeah.
So we're going
It, from number 3
Number
to 9
3.
on that mat.
Number 9.
It's a big activation on your glutes, this, isn't it?
Big activation on the glutes. Let's see if we can step the feet a little bit wider there, Kat. This is 35.5 pounds of resistance. So it's going to help you preserve muscle mass and strength, like we spoke about in menopause.
Yeah.
Mass and strength declines by about 3 to 7% per decade, starting in the late 30s. So exercises like this, using that resistance, really helps to preserve that metabolic health, your metabolism.
How's your
are we
glutes
feeling
there?
It's my thighs.
I can see your
Forget my
thighs are shaking.
thighs.
Thighs, glutes, absolutely, yeah.
How long are the classes normally, Antonetta?
They are, should we move into another exercise?
Yes, please.
Yeah, my glutes have had enough.
Okay, so go ahead and take this off. The classes they range. So we really try to meet people wherever they are at. We're actually going to stay with the ball. I think, Ben, you might have a football.
Yep.
If viewers at home are joining, they can use a pillow and fold the pillow up. We're going to take the ball right behind the back, right at the base of the shoulder blades. So from there, once you have the football band, a doubled up cushion at home, or the ball, hands behind the thighs.
That feels good.
You're going to look up at the ceiling and then exhale, pull your navel in and curl your ribs up, hollowing out the abdominals. And if you want a challenge, try hands behind the head. So inhale back, exhale up. To answer your question, Kat, we have workouts from 10, 15 minutes all the way up to an hour. We know people are often starved for time. So yes, you can find something that meets you where you're at. Gentle consistency is the philosophy. So getting any type of movement in is going to be better than none. People can also work out with us live on Zoom, just like you're doing now.
Yeah,
we have a live virtual studio, and about 60 studios throughout the US and Canada. Some are open and some are in development. So, people can work out with us live as well.
Antonietta, how often does Jen do this? Because she looks incredible.
I know, she is so incredible, and she's just getting stronger and stronger. She works out with us 4 times a week.
Wow.
She has a trainer there in LA, my colleague Danny, who is amazing. And when she's on the road, she joins us in our on-demand. So it's a subscription-based service.
Yeah.
You can, again, work out with us anytime, anywhere. Our equipment really is unique in the sense that all of the exercises have very specific amounts of resistance, pounds of resistance in mind. So, I would definitely encourage viewers, if they can, to get the equipment, because it is part of the findings.
The interesting thing, though, Antonietta, is I'm just using like a small football that people had at home. I had this resistance band. You don't have, you can find stuff to do with this at home that perhaps you don't have to spend all the money on your bundle. It still works just as efficiently and just as well.
Yeah, it works. I would say it works well, probably not as efficiently. However, absolutely. There's also no equipment workouts too. Using your own body weight in some exercises is effective as well, and dumbbells too. So weight training is a huge part of what we do to help combat that loss of mass and strength that we experience in the menopause transition. And the movements themselves prioritize, like you were saying, mobility, so helping your joints prevent injury, really the movements taking your joints through their full range of motion so that we're not experiencing some of the musculoskeletal conditions that people experience as they're aging. We have another study that actually shows P-valve reduces lower back pain. So, you know, it's really science-backed and just an incredible way of working.
Well, look, we've loved the experience of trying a little bit of it, and thank you so much for getting up to share a little bit of your expertise as well.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome.
Bye.
Oh, hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
OK, so on my to-do list, book venue, hire crew, sort flowers, sort cake. What was on yours, George?
I had don't insult Reese before the interview starts.
But a lot of American names that we think are boys' names are girls' names.
True.
And then
Like Reese?
Reese.
I didn't realise I just said that.
Uh-oh. Wow.
That was a great start.
Honestly, I can't take you anywhere.
Sorry, Sean.
Dearly beloved, you are gathered here today
To witness the joining of two comedy greats, Reese Witherspoon and Mr. Will Ferrell, in a movie about matrimony to which
You're
cordially invited.
Yay!
Love it.
You are cordially invited to see single dad Jim, played by Will Ferrell, arranging the wedding of his daughter Jenny.
And Margot, played by Reese, arranging the wedding of her sister, Neve.
My baby sister's engaged. I'm engaged.
I can't wait to plan this.
I'm going to plan your wedding.
How about June 1st?
There's just one snag.
Oh, no. We've double booked your weddings.
What? But before we start, Reese wants to make one thing very clear.
It's a lot of silly, there's a lot of slapstick. At the core of it, it's quite, you know, sweet moments, really like lovely daddy-daughter moments.
I don't play his daughter.
No, no. No, you do
Just to be clear.
Just to be absolutely
It's not
clear.
a daddy-daughter movie.
So, was it as much fun to make?
He is using up all of our sunset. Half of the sunset is gone.
Sorry if we're a little late.
Did he just wink at me?
As it is to watch?
We had so much fun. We even got ready in the same makeup trailer.
We did. I did her makeup
Oh.
for training because my character does my daughter's makeup.
He does. And hair, he
And
does
so-
great hair.
Hey!
I didn't realize it was a shared bathroom situation.
I'm just finishing up her hair.
Can you do French plaits?
I grew up doing French plaits.
Of course.
Yeah. That's like my specialty.
That's just bread and butter.
I could do a French plait blindfolded.
Right.
And on another interview, I will definitely test that one out.
Happy to work on yours if you'd like. Give you a cute little flip.
In the movie, there's a scene where the bride gets a black eye.
Stop it! Stop it!
What?
Nothing.
And I think we've all been there where there's a terrible moment at a wedding.
I have a friend who couldn't stop throwing up at her wedding.
Oh.
Yeah, but it was kind of because she was marrying the wrong guy.
I've been to a wedding where there was a full-on brawl on the car park.
Between family members?
Yeah.
Wow.
You started off on the dance floor. Have you done the cha-cha slide before?
Yeah.
Sure.
Fine, and then next thing you know, someone got elbowed.
One out this time. Right foot, let's start.
It was a massive brawl, and I always think that was the worst wedding moment.
That's why there's a total movement against the cha-cha slide at receptions for that reason.
Because it just gets out of hand.
It sparks
It's
violence.
We signed
We're starting a petition. We need you guys to sign it.
It's going worldwide.
That's what we've mostly been doing on this tour, is getting signatures to ban the cha-cha slide.
I'm out here, y'all. Peace, peace.
This morning audience will be all over this. They'll
Yeah.
sort that out, yeah. We'll get behind that idea.
Get the cake!
It's a trap!
At This Morning, we tried to be helpful, so we thought we'd ask Will and Reese for a translation of...
We're gonna go chaos monkey on his ass.
Yes, you heard that correctly.
Chaos monkey on his ass.
For us Brits, what is going chaos monkey on someone's ass?
When someone insults your family, you go chaos monkey on their ass.
Right.
The fight in the car park
Yeah, that
was
that's
Chaos
a chaos
monkey.
monkey
a chaos monkey situation.
And from Chaos Monkey to...
I caught this guy and I was going to unleash him.
We're talking about snappy dialogue, but actual snaps in there, working with an alligator.
But then I wrestled him too hard, and now I think he's dead.
That's not dead.
Well, you don't know.
Was it a real
paid actor, like a trained actor, alligator?
We couldn't get any that wanted to do the movie. They were all booked.
It's a nightmare.
Yeah, it was just that time of year. So that's an animatronic alligator.
How did you keep a straight face
I
during
couldn't.
that?
That was probably maybe one of the greatest moments of my career. Because I walked into the room and they wanted to surprise me, and I walked in and Will was just like in the bed.
In the darkness.
See you later, alligator! And finally, how can we top Will in bed with an alligator, you say?
I don't know if that would be possible.
Well, how about Will's part in a real-life wedding fail?
This should be good.
I have a friend who asked if I would stand up and object. So I did. I stood up. In that moment, we're like, does anyone object? And I said, I do. I love you, Carol. Please take me back. And my friend, the groom, said, this isn't Carol, it's Susan. And I went, oh, sorry. And I sat back down. And no one really laughed, except he laughed. So the joke didn't quite land.
But it will come as no surprise that the jokes in You're Cordially Invited do land.
That's incredible.
And we certainly surprise Will with the confetti for our big finish.
Oh, my goodness.
All 4 petals of it.
It's not quite an alligator.
Oh, amazing.
Brilliant,
I bet that was
though.
brilliant fun.
I
Loved
know,
it.
for sure. Will and Reese's new film, You're Cordially Invited, is available to stream on Prime Video. Thank you for visiting This Morning.
Jennifer Aniston, one of the most glamorous women in the world, she's been saying that her new fitness method, P-Volve, has transformed her body more than anything else she's ever tried.
And now the workout has been backed up by a study at Exeter University, which found that the regime helped women going through the menopause.
So in just a moment, Jennifer's trainer, Antonietta Vicario, is going to be showing us some of the exercises. Looking forward to trying that. First, though, Dr. Zoe's here to try and explain a little bit more about this study. So what have they found, Zoe?
So the University of Exeter, they do a lot of sports science studies, so a really good university to do this. And they enrolled 72 women between the ages of 40 and 60 who none of them were taking HRT, so that wouldn't affect the results. So some pre-menopausal, peri and post-menopausal women. And it's the first study of its kind because that's particularly what it was looking at as women go through the menopause transition. What I often get asked, what's the best form of exercise to do at that time of your life? It was a 12-week study where half of the women roughly did the P-Volve protocol and the other half followed the government guidelines of 150 minutes. And I'm really excited. I mean, it's worth mentioning it was funded by P-Volve, but I don't think that's you know, these studies have to be done.
Yes.
It's really important that women, as well as men, are looked at and this research is done about what's going to help women. So I don't have an issue.
Just because they paid for the study doesn't mean they can control the results.
Exactly. They're not controlling the results. So worth mentioning, but that doesn't concern me. I think it's great that the study's been done. So what they found is with this particular protocol, it increased hip strength, increased muscle mass, so body weight stayed the same, but muscle mass went up, increased balance, increased flexibility, and increased quality of life.
Wow.
All things which we kind of tend to associate with menopause going down. So I think what it shows is a lot of these changes that we often think of as inevitable with menopause, loss of muscle mass, loss of bone mass. With this protocol, that's not the case. It's resistance training, it's based on Pilates, and I think what's so great about it is it's that combination of muscle strengthening, some cardiovascular elements, and a lot of unilateral, so using one side of the body, so that brings in a balance element as well. So great news.
So if you didn't want to do P-Volve, but you wanted to do something else yourself at home, what would be your tips?
So I would be looking at resistance training programs. But this is low impact as well, which will encourage a lot of people. Resistance training programs that incorporate those 3 elements: strength, balance and cardiovascular. And there's stuff available on YouTube that you can get for free. There are classes that you'll be able to go to in your local gyms. I think we'll probably see lots of classes popping up that are based on this. And, you know, the equipment package that you get from P-Volve is about 250 quid, and then it's £15 a month for their subscription. So the cost itself will motivate a lot of people to stick with it. But for people who can't afford that, I think there'll be lots of alternatives that people can create themselves as well.
Sounds really positive, though, like you say, particularly for that study, the first of its sort.
Well,
so there you can sort that out.
Women need studies that support them to know how they themselves can look after themselves the best as they're going through this transition in life.
And it's even in the future as well, because it improves your balance, so you're less likely to fall, all of those things as well.
So the fact that it focused on hip strength particularly, because of course that is one of the big concerns as we go through menopause, is the risk of osteoporosis, the risk of falls if our balance isn't great, and then breaking a hip, which is drastically bad.
Yeah.
Good news, it sounds like. Well, should we give it a bit of a go?
Give it a go.
Give it a go,
Yeah,
guys.
yeah, yeah.
Give it a go.
I think so.
Okay, we're going to be giving it a go. We're chatting to one of Jennifer Aniston's trainers, Antonietta Vicario. Let's go over there now.
We're sneaking around here.
We're
Morning,
coming
Antonietta.
through. Good morning. Hello.
Hi, good morning. Hello.
Hello, it's Kat and Ben here. How are you doing?
I'm doing so well. I'm so happy to be here with you.
It's lovely to meet you. Could I just check what time is it there in New York at the moment?
I believe it is 7 a.m. over here.
Okay,
so the
not-
sun is coming through my window.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Perfect time to exercise, Antonietta.
So what we're doing
Exactly.
So what we're doing here is I've got the proper equipment. Ben has
Okay.
got the Blue Peter version.
Yeah,
You're
a bit
going
of
to
homemade
improvise
stuff.
a bit.
Just to show you. So what exercise are you going to take us through, Antonietta?
Well, I'm going to take you through our resistance-based equipment. So I believe, Kat, you have the P-ball. You're going to move it over to the side and step 1 foot through. And then I believe you have a resistance band.
Yes.
So just go ahead and put that around your ankles. And like we were discussing, it really is resistance that helps to increase muscle mass.
Hold on,
Yes,
Kat's just
I
struggling
know.
a set.
I've got boots on.
She's
though.
got
Should I-
boots and a
should I
jumpsuit, which
take-
isn't... There you go, that's it.
Should I take them
And just
off?
round our ankles, not on your knees.
Just around the ankles. Yes, yes. I know getting the equipment on is an exercise in itself, Kat. So you'll have this strap around the ankles and we're going to take a little sit back.
Yeah.
So you're loading into your glutes. And then I want you to step as wide as you can out with 1 foot and then the other.
Okay.
So
number 3.
Yeah.
So we're going
That's it from number 3
Number
to 9
3.
on that mat.
Number 9.
It's a big activation on your glutes, this, isn't it?
Big activation on the glutes. Let's see if we can step the feet a little bit wider there, Kat. This is 35 and a half pounds of resistance. So it's going to help you preserve muscle mass and strength, like we spoke about in menopause.
Yeah.
Mass and strength declines by about 3 to 7% per decade, starting in the late 30s. So exercises like this, using that resistance, really helps to preserve that metabolic health, your metabolism.
How's your
are we
glutes
feeling
there?
there?
It's my thighs.
I can see your
Forget my
thighs are shaking.
The thighs.
Thighs, glutes, absolutely, yeah.
How long are the
Yeah.
classes normally, Antonetta?
They are, should we move into another exercise?
Yes, please.
Yeah, my glutes have had enough.
Okay, so go ahead and take this off. The classes they range. So we really try to meet people wherever they are at. We're actually going to stay with the ball. I think, Ben, you might have a football.
Yep.
If viewers at home are joining, they can use a pillow and fold the pillow up. We're going to take the ball right behind the back, right at the base of the shoulder blades. So from there, once you have the football band, a doubled up cushion at home, or the ball, hands behind the thighs.
That feels good.
You're going to look up at the ceiling and then exhale, pull your navel in and curl your ribs up, hollowing out the abdominals. And if you want a challenge, try hands behind the head. So inhale back, exhale up. To answer your question, Kat, we have workouts from 10, 15 minutes all the way up to an hour. We know people are often starved for time. So yes, you can find something that meets you where you're at. You know, gentle consistency is the philosophy. So getting any type of movement in is going to be better than none. People can also work out with us live on Zoom, just like you're doing now.
Yeah,
we have a
it's
live
great.
virtual studio, and about 60 studios throughout the US and Canada. Some are open and some are in development. So, people can work out with us live as well.
Antonietta, how often does Jen do this? Because she looks incredible.
I know, she is so incredible, and she's just getting stronger and stronger. She works out with us 4 times a week.
Wow.
She has a trainer there in LA, my colleague Danny, who is amazing. And when she's on the road, she joins us in our on-demand. So it's a subscription-based service.
Yeah.
You can, again, work out with us anytime, anywhere. You know, our equipment really is unique in the sense that all of the exercises have very specific amounts of resistance, pounds of resistance in mind. So, I would definitely encourage viewers, if they can, to get the equipment because it is part of the findings.
The interesting thing, though, Antonietta, is I'm just using like a small football that people had at home. I had this resistance band. You don't have, you can find stuff to do with this at home that perhaps you don't have to spend all the money on your bundle. It still works just as efficiently and just as well.
Yeah, it works. I would say it works well, probably not as efficiently. However, absolutely. There's also no equipment workouts too. Using your own body weight in some exercises is effective as well, and dumbbells too. So weight training is a huge part of what we do to help combat that loss of mass and strength that we experience in the menopause transition. And the movements themselves prioritize, like you were saying, mobility, so helping your joints prevent injury, really the movements taking your joints through their full range of motion so that we're not experiencing some of the musculoskeletal conditions that people experience as they're aging. We have another study that actually shows P-valve reduces lower back pain. So, it's really science-backed and just an incredible way of working.
Well, look, we've loved the experience of trying a little bit of it, and thank you so much for getting up to share a little bit of your expertise as well.
It was my pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You are so welcome. You're so welcome.
Bye.
Oh, hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
I want you to tell that story. Anthony's new show, No Taste Like Home, comes to Disney Plus on the 24th of February. He is here to tell us all about it. He started during that clip talking about Florence.
Yes. So
she's one of your guests.
She's one of my guests and now one of my ultimate crushes. I think she's bringing me back to the other side, if I'm honest. I watched Little Women before, so I was like really intimidated before, palms sweaty. And day one, we're there rolling in the hills of like northern England and Yorkshire, and we learned about Yorkshire pudding and this like braised lamb.
Yeah.
And we had the dish there, we were ready to eat it, and we're waiting for utensils to come in, and she was like, grabs it with her hand straight to her face, oil dribbling everywhere. I'm like, this is a woman after my own heart. And that's who she is through and through.
We love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I've only seen the trailer. I haven't seen any of the series yet because it isn't out yet.
Right.
It looks sensational. It's a bit of travel, bit of cooking, some great charismatic people. Tell us a bit about it.
Frankly, it's the biggest scam in history because I basically had Nat Geo fund my international travels to places that I normally wouldn't be able to go to. But it's incredible. I mean, I get to continue on Queer Eye. I learned the power of telling stories and diverse stories through food, and we get to do that in a global way right now. We do it with these amazing celebrities who people know as concepts, but to get to know them as individuals, they're used to scripts and going on a set and having a certain schedule, but on this show, they had no idea what they were signing up for every day. And they were every single one of them was truly game for it. So every single day was a surprise.
So who have you taken and where did you go?
So James Marsden in Texas, and then we went to
Bavaria. He came in here a few weeks ago. He was lovely.
Talking about Jury Duty and Sonic.
Legend.
Yeah.
And then Florence, obviously, in northern England, which was amazing. Issa Rae in Senegal. Henry Golding in Borneo, in the jungle.
What was that like?
They have wild ferns, wild Japanese eggplant, torch ginger, which I didn't even know was a thing that existed.
Torch ginger?
Because his mother's side comes from an indigenous tribe called the Iban. So that was fascinating to explore. They live in these beautiful longhouses and like the sense of community there. Aquafina, Nora from Crazy Rich Asians, and Nora from Queens. Justin Theroux in northern Italy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just an epic adventure, truly.
Wow. And did you go to them with the idea, or did they come to you?
It depends. Some of them I had personal relationships with, but I always had a Zoom with them before just to kind of like get their vibe. But it's tricky because it was 3 to 6 months research for every single episode. Because we're doing really like the research team at Studio Ramsey, who was our producing partner for it. And they did all the work, and then they were all game for it.
Love it. You got them to do the work then, but we're going to get you to do the work now.
Yes.
Anthony,
Can we do it?
You're going to
let's go
create something for us. What have we got to look forward to?
So originally, I actually wanted to make a beautiful vanilla milkshake, but I decided to pivot last minute. in honor of your first guest. But so we pivoted to tortellini and brodo instead, which we learned in Emilia-Romagna, which was our venture with Justin. So I'll start with the technical. It starts out with the classic sfogliato, which is just flour, semolina, 00 flour, and egg.
Yeah.
And then basically you just cut through. The grandma, actually, if you watch the scene, was basically telling Justin and I how to make it. And so you have to go quickly down.
Yeah.
And go down like this. And then basically you cut it into like a perfect little grid. I completely scrapped that.
Yeah.
But basically you take one.
Yeah.
All right, I could have gone a little tougher. That's okay.
So you got to serrate the edge.
I was just being really gentle.
Lovingly
There you
cutting
go.
the pasta.
And so you take this tiny little ball, and then you put it in, flip it over, and then crimp. And what's interesting about this is like the most traditional Emilia-Romagna dish from Cento and from Bologna, and they're perfect like this. Although your crew did a much better job than I did.
Wow.
I had a version of this growing up being Polish, which was basically borscht, which is like a beet consommé, but we fill these with wild mushrooms. So it's interesting how, like, wherever you travel, depending on where you are, like, the ingredients change, but these elements kind of, like, they all get repeated around the world, which is kind of, like, really beautiful.
When did you first start cooking? Who taught you?
So I was raised in a very matriarchal household, so I watched my mother, but I always sat on the other end of the kitchen counter when she and my sisters would cook. But I kind of, like, took in all that information. And then when I was, you know, left to my own devices as a 17-year-old in college, I remembered that, like, I kind of had that as, like, muscle memory. So then I started creating meals for, like, roommates, and then we had, like, study groups and things. So I kind of, like, I learned from YouTube, basically.
Okay.
So look, I've just lifted up this. Are these ones you want us to have a go with?
So yeah, these are, oh yeah, please, if you want. So these are basically perfect. They're still wet enough.
Anthony.
You haven't seen this show before.
What did I miss? What did I miss?
In terms of cooking.
I don't have fingers for very delicate.
So you press it like this so that it looks like a perfect cannoli.
Okay.
You're crushing it.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I'm literally crushing it.
Yeah, you're crushing it.
And then
literally, and there you go. And then you crimp it. Exactly.
See, if Dee Dee does this, it'll be so delicate and perfect. Look at my little.
If it gets dry, you just dab your fingers with a little bit of water.
Okay. And then once I've done that...
And then, so there are two schools of thought. What the nonna taught us is basically to put your index finger here and then crimp it like this.
Oh,
it's a very
index in the
forgiving
middle.
dough. Yeah. And then these tiny little, cute little purses.
Oh, hold up.
Pockets.
Hold
and
up.
then what do we do next?
that's not bad.
That's not bad. Well
That's
done.
really good.
Hey.
10 out of 10.
Thank you. You see what I did? I asked for some help, Kat Deely.
Secrets
of good flirting.
Are you flirting? So then what do we do? Do we leave them for a little while or do we...
You can let them dry a little bit, and then in a sort of hot broth, this is a mix of chicken and beef broth.
Yes.
You just plop them in.
Yep.
And then basically, I'm just going to use my hands. These have dried up perfectly, so they're
so you
nice
let them
and
dry
firm.
quite significant. That's much...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
a
they're
bit
hard.
firmer.
Yeah.
Because this is a labor of love that takes all day. It's
Okay.
a typical dish of Ferragosto, which is a harvest festival in Cento and in Bologna. And you basically throw them in 2 to 3 minutes, and they're going to float up. They're going to tell you when they're ready. So there's no tasting.
So when they float, that's
testing.
time to go.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
And then what happens next?
And then, basically, here we have some more broth.
Yeah.
And then we have some here that were par cooked. If you're cooking for a group and you don't want them to separate because you want them to stick together, you can put them in a bowl after they're cooked, and then you can just basically ladle some on right over here.
Wow.
And this, you have to tune into the show to kind of understand the importance of this dish and the significance, but this was the dish that Justin came to us, because every single person on the show comes to us.
Don't leave it over there. Can we try it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
there you go.
about the show, but I've got to try this. You've so lovingly
So
made.
this is the dish that Justin threw. I'm going to get you your own bowl, don't worry.
Yeah.
This is the dish that Justin remembered that his grandmother taught him that she would make at Christmas. So we went on a journey through northern Italy to figure out where this dish came from.
Wow.
And it started out in this little village of Piacenza, and we ended up in Bologna. It was a whole journey.
I can't wait to see it. Anthony's new show, No Taste Like Home, starts Wednesday, 26th of Feb at 10 p.m. on the National Geographic Channel. I'm going to try some of that.
It's delicious. Absolutely love it.
Is it good?
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out. And we'll see you in the morning.
Being a backbench MP could be such a jet-set lifestyle. Just last week, it started in the US capital of Washington, D.C. The Nigel Farage journey ended in his constituency of Clacton-on-Sea.
This Friday marks 5 years since Brexit came into effect, and whether you voted to leave, remain, or you didn't vote at all, few would question Nigel Farage's role in Britain's decision to leave the European Union.
And the leader of the Reform UK party joins us in the studio this morning. Nigel, thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good
Morning.
to have you. You've had a very, very busy time of it the last few weeks.
Yeah.
I wonder, when you reflect on the fact that it is 5 years on Friday since Brexit happened, did you expect to be here now, doing this?
No. I mean, I got into politics from business because I thought we should be an independent country, run our own affairs, control our own borders, do our own things, choose our own friends around the world. So if you'd asked me 5 years ago where I'd be today, retired is the answer. But I've come back into politics because it's frankly not been delivered the way that I saw.
No, you're in agreement with the British public there. When it goes to the latest YouGov polling, do you think Brexit has gone well or badly? Very badly, 34%. Only 2 think very well. And then the EU referendum, if it was held tomorrow, the majority of Britons, 55%, would vote to remain.
Well, I think given a campaign, they wouldn't, because if they actually saw the mess that France and Germany are in, I mean, you think things are bad here, have a look at what's happening in Europe. So I doubt that would happen. The disappointment is this. Millions of people voted in that referendum who don't normally vote at all in general elections, and they could see what was happening in Britain. The population exploding because of open borders and, you know, the problems getting GP appointments, getting houses, all of those things. So with Brexit, they thought, right, we're actually going to put a limit on the numbers coming in. And what happened? Under 5 years of Conservative government, the numbers went through the roof. So there is some real disappointment. There are other areas, such as foreign policy, where we stand in the world, where there's no doubt Brexit has benefited us. But on that, and anyone watching this programme, you know, who's got their own business, they expected regulations to get easier. They've probably got harder. So look, I'm as disappointed with the way it's been delivered as anybody, and that's why I'm sitting here today. That's why I've come back into it. We need to finish the job.
How was the inauguration? You've got the socks to prove that you were there,
I do.
Nigel. Those are actual inauguration socks.
I got them on a merch store, along with hats and scarves and everything else. It was, honestly, it was so upbeat. I mean, the weather was terrible, but it was so optimistic. I will never forget, you know, the victory rally on the eve of inauguration, and there's Trump. And, you know, village people come on stage, and he's dancing on stage with them. And
it's the same village people that, you know, tried to sue him for the previous campaign because he was using.
Yeah, well, they're very happy now. They're back at #1 in America, and they're very, very happy indeed. And then, you know, signing presidential orders and chucking the pens into the crowd. And you can like him, you can loathe him, but he's won fair and square. And there is, I mean, literally, from taxi drivers to bartenders to waitresses, everyone's saying, this feels great, we're making money, the economy's going well, and the contrast with how people feel here today is quite extraordinary.
You said the weather was terrible, so of course it had to be moved inside.
Yeah.
You didn't make the cut, though, for the inside.
No, I didn't, but I'm not for
in your own words.
Yeah, no, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But that's fine. But it was a shame, because normally, you know, the president swearing, top of Capitol Hill, hundreds of thousands of people. But, yeah, I think if they'd done it, people would have died. It really was that cold.
It was that cold.
Yeah.
And what do you think about Trump's opinion of England now? We heard that he was on the plane and he had a 45-minute phone call with Keir Starmer. He said that he's doing a good job. It seemed like the Mutual Appreciation Society, actually. They seem to quite like each other.
Look, be in no doubt, this is the most pro-British president we're ever likely to see.
Were you surprised he said that he thought that Starmer's doing a very good job?
He's much politer than people think. You know, if he disagrees with Starmer on something big, we will hear about it. But no, he's pro-British. His mother was from the Western Isles. He loves the royal family. He's got golf courses over here. He likes our music. He likes our films. And in many ways, if you think about it, American culture and British culture are now almost one of the same things. So, look, we're very lucky to have him. He wants to have a good relationship with us. He loves the fact we've got Brexit, because that means we're free to negotiate trade deals with him that we couldn't have done as EU members. So the Prime Minister has a big choice to make. You know, how close does he want to get to Brussels? How close does he want to get to America? You know, what's the right position for him? And I would just say this. Europe's getting poorer. America's getting richer. We should bear that in mind.
You, while you were out there, of course, we saw a lot of Elon Musk on the stage with the president. He's key to the president's new regime, of course, and cabinet. Have you had a chance to smooth things over? Because I know that...
Yeah, I mean, I spoke to him and we're on perfectly friendly terms. I mean, look, he and I fell out on something. He encouraged me to do something that I didn't agree with. And do you know what? I make my own mind up in life. I don't get pushed around. I don't get bullied. Even by the richest man on earth, I stick my ground.
Did you accept? Did he accept that what your stance on this was the right stance to have because he was trying to support Tommy Robinson?
Yeah, I mean, he sees Tommy Robinson as a free speech hero for talking out about grooming gangs, and quite right that people should talk out on grooming gangs. It's one of the most appalling things that's happened in any of our lifetimes. My reservation about Robinson is that the way he talks about Islam, it's as if he wants to go to war with everybody of the Islamic faith. He's a long criminal record. All I've said is, look, let Mr. Robinson do what he does. I'm running a political party. We intend to win the next general election. He would not be an asset to us. So, you know, we see things differently, but look...
So would you be happy to accept Elon Musk's support and financial support? Because I think in the past he suggested...
We are going to get Elon's support. Of that, I have no doubt at all.
And you're happy to align him? Because he's been in Germany, he's been popping up with the far right in Germany as well.
No, I mean, look...
You don't mind that?
No two people agree on everything. And, you know, Musk believes in free speech. I believe in free speech. That means we can agree on things, but disagree on things.
But at some point, I would imagine there are some elements that you think I don't necessarily want to align that sort of ideology, free speech or not, with what my party represents.
I take that point. I mean, equally, I haven't got an electric car, you know. I mean, we all look at the world in different ways. Look, whatever we think of Musk's views, he's a hero. He's a hero. Buying Twitter, bringing free speech back to the internet where it almost evaporated. I mean, remember, during lockdown, if you criticised government lockdowns, you were being suspended from Facebook or whatever it is. I also think what he's done with SpaceX, I mean, this is an incredible guy.
Yeah, but there is... Well, you can't deny, though, Nigel, that a lot of these big tech companies, a lot of the social media companies have a responsibility to what is being put onto those platforms.
Of course.
Particularly in, like, the Southport atrocities that happened out there, and some of those videos and films were still on those platforms.
They shouldn't be there, and they're on too many of those platforms.
So when you describe Musk as a hero, when it's his platform that still has some of those videos on
and
there...
TikTok had it up there, and Facebook had it up there.
Agreed, but he's, along with all of them, they all are responsible for that.
Ben, I fully accept that point, you know, but I do think what these platforms have given ordinary citizens is a chance to express their opinions, to debate them with an audience, and overall, yes, there are downsides, overall, they're more of a force for good than bad.
Do you think that there will ever come a time where you'll join with the Conservatives, with the Tories?
No, I think we're going to become... Well, we are now bigger than the Conservatives. There are several opinion polls, and all right...
But you can't win without...
They've been around for 194 years, right? We've been around properly for a few months.
Yeah.
I get that. Remember, in 1918, the Liberals were the party of government.
Yeah.
The men returning from the First World War and their widows at home made Labour the second biggest and then the biggest party in this country. We might be at one of those once-in-a-100-year moments when something fundamentally changes. And all I can tell you about reform is we've got an optimistic agenda for the future of this country. We want a big cultural change. We're not stuffed with career politicians. We're people from all different walks of life. We've got a booming membership. And who knows? I think something big's happening.
Go on, sorry.
No, go on.
In terms of getting into power, though, you've already said you can see yourselves winning the next election. That would come about with some sort of alliance along the way?
Not necessarily. No, we are... Look...
So you think you can do it on your own?
The rise in reform in the last few months, putting us second or even first in a couple of opinion polls, most of that's come from Labour. It hasn't come from the Conservatives. We can pick up votes from across the political spectrum. So we're aiming for the stars. We're going all out to win. And, you know, in 3 or 4 years' time, I'll be proved right or wrong.
So, aiming for the stars,
Yep.
going all out to win.
Yep.
Keys to number 10?
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously that would be exciting, although I'm not sure living in that flat upstairs would really suit with 2 Labradors, but, you know...
But you'd like to be Prime Minister?
Do you know, I didn't come into politics with ambition for position. I did it to try and change things. And if in a few years' time, and Reform wins the election, if I'm still the best person to do it, of course I'd do it.
It's interesting, and because, of course, we've interviewed you, I've interviewed you plenty of times over the years. 2015, you spoke to a good colleague of mine, Kate Garraway, on Good Morning Britain, and she asked you this question. It'll be interesting to get your thoughts on this. This is what you said back then.
Would you like to be Prime Minister?
I don't think that's my role in life. I don't think I'd be very good at it either.
Wouldn't be very good at it back in 2015.
Well, I'm older and more mature and grown up.
Is that what's changed, do you think?
In 2015, I was in politics for a cause. And that was, as I say, to free our country from the European Union. I've come back into it because I actually think the way we're governed across many, many issues isn't working. Right now, at this moment in time, I think I'm the best person to turn that round. If someone better than me comes along, I'll recognise it.
I think you've always been very honest about how you're seen by people. You've described yourself in the past as a bit of a Marmite character. Certainly back in 2015, what you were standing for. Has there been a shift from your perspective, just in terms of trying to come more centrally and being less Marmite? Are you Marmite without added salt?
I think two things have happened, really. One, the things that I talked about, like the population explosion, when I said them 10 years ago, people went, oh, dear, this is all a bit too difficult. And actually now the vast majority of people think we've got a problem with our borders. Secondly, well, I'm going to say this because I'm here with ITV. I think going into the jungle actually really helped how people saw me, because you can't for 24 days in the jungle hide who you really are. And I think, you know, you read perhaps things in newspapers or online that are said about me by political opponents, then you see me in the jungle and people thought, well, actually, perhaps he's not quite the monster that we thought that he was. So I do believe that going into the jungle last year has been a major contributory factor to where reform is today. And by the way, I thoroughly enjoyed doing it.
Did you really?
I did.
Even the trials, Nigel? That can't be true.
The trials were tough. But I'll let you into a secret.
Go on.
The week before I went into the jungle, I went to see Paul McKenna. To say, look, I am not looking... I did.
What did you do?
I said, I'm not looking forward to snakes or spiders. I don't want to scream on television in front of millions of people. And Paul taught me a few tricks of the mind that you can use to overcome fear, and it worked.
And it worked.
Can you do that in politics as well?
I'm not frightened of anything in politics.
And we could have our first Prime Minister then, in your eyes, that's done a Bush-Tucker trial.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's an interesting idea for the Great British public, isn't it?
Just shows you how politics is changing.
You were 60 last year.
I was.
I mean, it's a moment in anybody's lifetime, and of course you've come back into politics. You're leading this party that we're seeing the membership, according to certain numbers, surging. Is that the most important thing happening in your life?
No. Last summer, within 3 weeks of each other, I had 2 grandsons born, and that matters more than anything. That was the highlight of last year, and that means more than anything else.
How does that affect your view on things when you've suddenly got grandchildren?
Yeah, in the future.
Well, you obviously, become reflective, that you've lived more of your life than you've got to go.
Yeah.
That kind of strikes home. A sense of continuity, something for the future, and I hope one day, as they grow up a little bit, to have time to spend with them, and probably turn out to be a better grandparent than I was as a parent.
Yeah,
and I think many people feel that.
Yeah.
What do they call you? Is it Gramps, Grandad?
Well, they're only 9 months old at the moment.
What's the name that's being projected?
Oh, I think it's probably going to be Gramps or something like that. But I don't mind what it is. No, that was the highlight of last year. It really was. And as I said to you at the start of this chat, if you said to me 5 years ago, where would I be? Honestly, I thought I'd be retired, and I've thrown myself back into it. And it's hard work, but I'm enjoying it.
He's even got the socks.
He's even got the socks.
He's even got the socks to prove. We've got a quick fire round for you now.
Gosh,
is that all right?
Yeah.
OK. Would you be a faithful or a traitor?
Oh, traitor, I think, definitely.
Why?
Far more fun to be naughty.
Did you watch Traitors this time?
I've watched clips of it, bits of it. It's obviously a massive success. Yeah, well done. It's brilliant.
Would you go on a celebrity version?
Do you know what? If I had the time to do it, I'd love to.
Never say never. OK, this one. Trump or Tice?
Oh, gosh, that's not fair, is it?
The choice, Trump or Tice?
Have to be Tice, wouldn't it?
Have to be Tice.
Have to be Tice, no question.
Even though he's gone to Dubai? He's out in Dubai?
He hasn't gone to Dubai. Don't believe all you read in the newspapers. He was in the House of Commons yesterday. He'll be there today.
Semi-skimmed or full fat?
Oh, please. What is the point of a proper pot of tea that I make with loose tea every morning with semi-skimmed milk. Absolute waste of time.
All the fat.
Zen-like.
Washington, D.C. or Clacton-on-Sea?
Got to be Clacton.
How do you feel about the dubbing? The Clacton Gazette, I think, has called you 9 jobs Nige. There's a suggestion maybe that you gallivant a bit too much.
Well, I've gallivanted all my life. That isn't going to stop, I can promise you.
Well, for the constituents of Clacton, they'd quite like to feel like...
I did the biggest business surgery last Friday, straight back from Washington, that any MP's ever done in that constituency and probably will ever do again. And I'm thoroughly enjoying doing the job. And do I have a successful company that operates and earns income from a variety of things? Yeah. And you know what? I claim 0 expenses as an MP. 0. Nothing. I don't claim for my gas bill in the way that, Rachel Reeves does or others. I don't claim any travel expenses. I claim 0 expenses. Yes, I have income outside of politics. But you know what? Maybe we need more people in politics who know how to make money.
Keir or Kemi?
Score draw.
Score draw. We'll see.
No, I mean, I have to say, Keir is very polite. I don't see any malice in him at all as a person. I disagree fundamentally with the direction he's taking the country. But I'm not going to sit here and abuse the Prime Minister.
Do you think you're more aligned with what Kemi stands for?
I'm aligned with what Kemi says, but not what Kemi does.
Right.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. Boris, Kemi, all the others came in with a whopping great big majority in 2019, which I assisted them with, and then did the opposite of what they told the public. And I'm afraid I see her in that camp.
You've already told us you're a big fan of ITV and ITV shows, so the Woolpack or the Rovers?
The Rovers. Proper.
Lemon and herb or extra hot?
Extra hot.
Extra hot. You're Nando's fan.
Gotta be.
Definitely.
Gotta be.
Ant or Deck?
No, I like them both. I'm sorry, I can't pick. They're sort of...
So you've scored draw with Keir and Kemi scored Morecambe and Deck.
I mean, they're a bit like the modern Morecambe and Wise, aren't they?
Yeah.
I mean, they've been around now for a long time.
Everyone's got a favourite, though.
Bring me sunshine.
I don't. I found both of them in the jungle, treated me fine.
And one last one. Downing Street or Down Under, Nigel?
Well, Down Under was great fun. I think Downing Street will have its own share of snakes and serpents, but it's got to be number 10.
Well, look, we really appreciate you coming in and
you.
seeing us. Thank you for joining us today, and those socks are spectacular.
He's got a hat to match.
And you've got the hat too. Oh, hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
Can't help it. I have to join in with that bit. Mark Hamill is here now alongside Roz the robot. How are you both?
I am happy to have come. No task is impossible for Rosum 7134.
Nice to see you, Roz. I'm glad you're here.
It is good to see a friend. I have been completing my task as a wild robot.
It's so good. I mean, I have to say, so we've watched it twice now in our household.
Yeah.
My kids are right in your sweet spot. They're 9 and they're 6. Yeah. And we adored this movie, and now my big boy is reading the book too. When you first read it, what did you think?
Well, that's what I did. I ordered the book as soon as they expressed interest, and I was just blown away. I said, it's no surprise that it's been on the New York Times bestseller list for years and it's won all these awards. It's got appeal across the board. It's so life-affirming and optimistic, and it's obviously the ultimate fish-out-of-water story. This high-tech robot gets dropped into the wilderness, but... and the cast, I mean, Lupita is just marvelous. I mean, the way she is so dispassionate and becomes slightly more human, she makes a real journey. My character, not so much, but...
Well, it's interesting because Roz said it's nice to see a friend. Your character and Roz aren't necessarily friends at the start of the film.
No, and that's another thing. I love the way the messages come across effortlessly. You're not hit over the head, but you realize, it's about community. It's about coming together in adverse circumstances, you know, because there's strength in numbers.
Had you played a grizzly bear before?
Well, you know the thing about voiceover, I mean, we stopped counting at 1,200 jobs. But I've been doing it since, the early 90s. And what I love about voiceover is they cast with their ears.
Right.
Not their eyes. So you're going to get roles that you would never get to play if you were on camera. I'm much too short to play the Joker. But and that's what's so wonderful. I never got to do dialects on camera, but in voiceover, I've done Australian, I've done standard English, Cockney. For some reason, if it's an Australian character, they hire an Australian actor. Unless you're Meryl Streep. She's the only one that's allowed to do accents.
She traverses.
Yeah. It's a SAG rule.
And when you saw the movie for the first time, were you blown away? Because to me, it doesn't look like every other animation film that I've seen before.
Well, I was really thrilled because when I read the book, I thought, oh, if they can capture even 30% of the appeal, this is really going to be great. And the first time I saw footage is when I went in for my third session. And I saw footage of, oh, great, they've kept the illustration. It looks like a painting come to life.
Yeah, it really does.
So, yeah, it's just got a really original look to it. And you're talking about your children. I have much older children, especially the two older boys who are like, Dad, it's not for me. And all you have to do is see it. I mean, the revelation for me, because I'd seen it twice in a screening room. Then I got to see it with a live audience at the Toronto Film Festival.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, having done theater, I can gauge audiences, and they were with us right from the start.
Yeah.
Laughed at all the right places. They were having a grand old time. And when the lights came up, there were a lot of people, wiping
in tears. Oh, it's so moving. The whole thing is properly moving.
I mean, I can cross having a classic animated film off my bucket list, and I'm just lucky to be even a small part of it.
But you must, I mean, you as an actor, you love the ensemble of working with other actors and their bouncing, and of course this is put together in a voiceover booth. Were you playing against the others, or was it just you and the animation?
I was recorded separately. So I didn't even meet Pedro or Kid or any of them until we did an event in San Diego to promote it. So I met them all for the first time. And, I'm used to working both ways. I was a little bit spoiled because in the Batman days, if there were 33 characters, there were 33 actors.
Wow.
And you started on page one and you read it through like a radio play, which is really helpful because like musicians, you hear other people's rhythms and sort of alternate, you adjust to, or there's an unexpected line reading, which changes your line reading. So, but more and more, they are recording us separately. I think they like having maximum control. And when you get too many actors together,
you're hard to control, that's for sure.
And do you still get people coming up to you and asking you to do bits of it, like the Joker laugh or...
Well, with the Joker, in the beginning, even my friend said, that's not you, or they're treating your voice.
Yeah.
You go to the grocery store and people would demand that you do the voice, or you're in the airport, do the Joker. And, you'd have to sit back, why, thank you,
Do the laugh.
Well, one thing about the laugh, you got to warm up.
Oh.
Because I did one Broadway musical and I thought, it's just a technical thing that you have to do. I would warm up for the Joker driving from where I live in Malibu into the valley, which is almost an hour, doing the... Now, in Los Angeles, a single person in a car laughing hysterically, it's just another thing. It doesn't draw any attention whatsoever. But, I made the mistake one time of not warming up, for a matinee, and I learned the hard way because I got really hoarse and we still had another show. Ethel Merman apparently was the only one that they would say, when are you going to warm up? And she says, and that's one, in that Ethel Merman voice. But I'm just, look, I'm not, Lupita should be here, but I'm just so pleased to be a part of something that is making people so happy. Yeah. It's the ultimate in escapism.
Yeah.
And boy, do we need it now.
Oh, don't we just? It's and it's been nominated for Oscars as well, which is an exciting thing for all of you and the crew.
That's another thing. Chris Bowers, who did the music, he's this young guy, 30-something guy. that's one thing that you couldn't get from the book. It's the music.
Yeah.
It surges at the right time. I didn't really pay attention to. I singled out the score like the second or third time I saw it, and he does just a great job. And of course, Chris, the director, he's the writer and the director. And he, I loved How to Train Your Dragon. He did, and Lilo and Stitch. He did. But this one just is one of my favorites of all time.
But it's so funny when you say one of my favourites of all time is Star Wars.
Yeah.
And now I'm getting to see it again.
Share it with your boys.
Through my boys' eyes. And they still love it, even without all the special effects that they're so used to. What is it about it, do you think?
Well, when I read it, I thought, well, this is almost like Wizard of Oz with a gender switch for Luke, Dorothy, where he's swept away from his boring farm life into this fantastic world. There's a wizard, there's a pirate, there's a princess, there's the scary guy in the black mask. I said, this is really a fairy tale rather than science fiction. And science fiction is usually very, very dry, and that movie had humor. It was really funny.
Yeah.
The robots were funny. Yeah. I mean, arguing over whose fault it is. You don't get that in 2001.
You and Harrison together as well. It's just and Carrie. You were like the trio.
Yeah, and I had gone to Africa to do the early part, and when I came back, Harrison came, and he was just, too cool for school. We immediately fell into our roles where he's like the older brother mentor and I idolize him. And then the final piece of the puzzle, Carrie coming over, and she was just, she was 19.
You were like brother and sister a little bit, weren't you?
Yeah,
the dynamic.
In many ways, because we would get along great, and then we have huge arguments. I'm sick of you, get out of my trailer. And then you come back together. She was a real original.
It must be lovely in many ways because the Star Wars universe has grown so exponentially over the last few years. There's so many different versions of it, there's so many different TV shows. Do you still enjoy talking about it, Mark? Is it one of those things that can become an albatross, or is it something you're so proud of?
The only difficult thing is that I saw all the movies the year they came out, but I don't go back and watch them again. So these kids come up to me, or grown-ups come up to me, and they know way more about it than I do. So when you went to the Wookiee planet of Kazizik, I said, what? Did we go to the Wookiee planet? Oh, it wasn't in a movie. It was in a novel, Splinter of the Mind's Eye. They've seen it many more times than I have, and they've seen it more recently than I have. So it winds up being me learning from them because they know it so much more than I do. I try and keep up. I mean, they asked me to be on The Mandalorian, so we binged that. Same with Book of Boba Fett. Binge that. My son is the one that really is the Star Wars fan, Nathan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Nathan, by the way, was born in England.
Okay.
In St. John's Wood when we were doing Empire Strikes Back.
Really?
Yeah, so
he's North
I have
London
a real
boy.
love of this country because I've done so many films here and we lived here for years on end. And then, of course, having a child here.
Yeah. And do you think we could see Luke again in a Star Wars movie? In some capacity?
No. Look, I had my time. I'm very grateful for George letting me be a part of it, but I think it's time to let the kids take over.
You say that. You say that, Mark. I don't think we're going to let you.
I could be a floating head in the glass.
You could be yes, you could. That's the magical thing about it.
I had such closure, I find it the irony of Luke dying of an overdose of the Force. Who knew that was a thing?
So just think about how he can come back then.
Obi-Wan should have said, use the Force in moderation.
Yoda would have said that, I think.
Use the Force, but don't overdo it. Yoda, they should have told me. There was no warning. Who knew you could OD on the Force?
I can OD on the Force all day, every day.
I could sit here talking to you all day.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Of course.
It's lovely to share
So
some thoughts and to
lovely.
meet Roz, and we love the film.
The movie's incredible. Go and see it.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to promote because it's hard to describe, but if you look at the trailer and have a good time.
Won't be a dry eye in the house. Thank you.
May the Force be with you, but not too much.
In moderation.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning. Oh, the drama. She proved herself faithful right until the very end. We're joined by one of this year's winners, Leanne Quigley. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
It's lovely to see you.
Thank you.
I mean, albeit sort of not calm, because this is a slightly different experience, but calmer than that.
Much calmer than that.
Was one of the most tense things I've ever experienced. What was it like watching it back?
It was just the most nervy thing I've ever done in my life. Those last moments was just horrific. I mean, finding out just before Jake revealed that he was a faithful, that Frankie and Alexander were both faithfuls, broke my heart. So in that moment, and Jake, you know, played his little trick on me. He wanted me to think that he was a traitor. I really thought in that moment, wow, I've made such a huge mistake.
Well, because you could actually see your hands shaking. I mean, you were physically... It was so tense.
It was so tense.
But you'd played an absolute blinder.
Thank you.
Like, the whole thing, turning up, dressed all in pink, saying you were a manicure. Like, how did you keep up that level of subterfuge through the whole thing?
It was difficult. It was harder than I thought. I mean, I wasn't expecting all throughout the girls asking me, oh, tell me about your salon, you know. You know, what do you think of my nails? Can we come get our nails done after? I'm like, yeah, of course. And I'm like, wow, this is a lot.
When did you create that as an idea? Do you sit down with some friends and family and go, what am I going to do? What shall I do?
Yeah, I mean, Sophie helped me a lot. I mean, my partner, you know, she's not the girliest of girls, so she wasn't the best at help. She never gets her nails done. But luckily, Soph's sister owns a salon down the road with her best friend. So I'm in there all the time and they're all gorgeous. And yeah, one of the girls helped me. She sat down. She was like, this is what I charge for this. This is what I charge for this. And I was like, fab.
It's brilliant. Your research, I love it.
I did all of it.
But your background is in the military. What's your position? What was your position?
So I left the army as a corporal.
Wow.
Yeah, section commander.
So all of those challenges that you were doing, the really tough one, where you were rowing or you were in the helicopter, you'd done stuff like... How did you manage to keep that a secret?
They were my favourite parts of the whole game, the missions. You know, it was a break away from the game and it was just so enjoyable to have that time out of the game and just get really stuck in and, you know, all have fun together during the missions. But, you know, I initially went in and I thought, OK, I'm going to hold back a little bit.
Yeah, because you can't show how good you are.
Yeah, but then it's so hard to do that because, you know, throughout my whole military career, you get told, do your best, you know, work your hardest. So when I'm in the missions, I can't help but put my all in.
Yeah. I think one of the things that's really interesting is watching, because all of you go in knowing it's a game.
Yeah.
And you all say, I'm not going to take it personally, it's not going to be a personal thing.
Yeah.
But then when you're sitting there in that round table, it feels like you're all taking it very personally.
Yeah, I can't even explain how tense the round tables are. I mean, it's not a natural environment, is it, to sit around a round table and just, you know, directly accuse each other of being a murderer. You know, it's not a normal thing in life. So, you know, when you're being accused of being a traitor, it's a lot. It's really difficult, you know, and those round tables go on for a long time.
And you never were, though. You never became a traitor. You've been faithful all the way through.
Faithful all the way through.
Do you wish, in a way, that maybe you had a chance to be a traitor? Or I mean, obviously you won, so it's hard to look back on it.
Yeah, I mean,
do you think you were being good?
At the beginning, I really wanted to be a traitor.
When you're talking
I really did. And when Armani got banished, I thought, oh, I hope I get recruited. And I never did. But, you know, more towards the end of the game, I thought, I could never be a traitor because the friendships that you build with each other and the connections, they're real. You know, everyone in the castle are just amazing. The friendships we have are just beautiful.
But some of them you can't trust.
Some of them you just can't trust. Yeah, I could never have imagined getting to the end game and being a traitor, knowing that these guys were actually faithful and taking it from them.
There's that moment, sorry,
Go on,
Kat, there's that moment, though, where Frankie got the power of the seer.
Oh,
and randomly, for some peculiar, strange reasoning in her head, she chose to pick Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, wow.
Which just changed everything.
It changed the whole game. You know, it flipped it on its head completely.
Do you think if she hadn't got Charlotte, do you think Charlotte would have won? Did any of you suspect Charlotte as being a traitor?
I think Charlotte would have won, absolutely. I think by the end, Charlotte was so trusted by everybody, you know. I didn't trust Charlotte in the beginning, and then she really proved herself as a faithful for me, for Jake. You know, we all trusted her so much. So if the seer never happened, I do believe that she would have won because I just never would have thought that she was a traitor.
Never have accused her, no.
Never.
And then that end around the fire where you had to put it in your bag and then the puff of smoke came out.
Yeah.
You banished Frankie. Do you wish you hadn't done that now? Is the part of you that thinks,
Gosh, were you 50-50 or did you really think...
Yeah, do you know, the moment that changed it for me was the final round table, you know?
Right.
It really breaks my heart watching it back. I so wish things were different. But, you know, going into the end game, the only thing I had in my mind at that moment was that final round table. And with, you know, Charlotte defending herself like a true traitor should, you know, till the very end.
Of course.
You know, the moment she said, you can't trust this woman, you can't take her to endgame, that was going over and over in my head. And it just planted those seeds of doubt. You know, she mentioned that she thought it was Frankie and Alexander who were the traitors. And, you know, looking back and the conversation I had with Charlotte, just as Frankie told her she was a traitor, she was so upset. And it breaks my heart to see anybody upset. So she was just so convincing.
Yes, she was brilliant.
So convincing.
And not Welsh at all. I remember your mum is,
Far
but
from
yeah. So congratulations on the money as well.
Yeah,
you and Jake are
thank you.
splitting an awful lot of money. Has the money... Because you have to wait for the show to air before you get your winnings. Has it arrived yet?
No, not yet, not yet.
What are you going to do with it?
Oh, gosh, well, of course I mentioned I'd love to have another baby. I'd love to try for IVF again, give my little boy a little sibling. And also, we've got a wedding to plan now. I got engaged back in August, which is just the best feeling.
Look at you there, gorgeous family.
They are beautiful little boys.
They're just amazing, and they're just warriors, and they don't even know it.
No. So something towards the family, something towards the wedding.
Maybe another little brother and sister.
Yeah, treat the family. My mum deserves it.
And you had to keep it a secret all the way from... When did you finish? May?
Yeah, it's been a long time.
May all the way through till now, so finally you can talk about it. We've loved it. You were brilliant, Leanne.
Thank
Congratulations.
you so much. Thank you.
Thrilled to bits for you and for Jake, and good luck for the future as well.
Oh,
hello.
thank you so much.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
Lucy Punch and Philippa Dunn join us now. Good morning and congratulations.
Thank
you. It's just, I watched it last night, first episode, it was just brilliant.
Oh,
so well done. So where does Amanda Lamb pick it? So is it like a couple of years down the line?
Yes, it's 2 or 3 years, and Amanda is post-divorce and she's had to downsize.
Yep.
She's left behind this life of privilege and...
Life has changed.
Life has changed considerably, and
struggle is real.
The struggle is real, but it is. She's now a single mother to 2 teenage children, and that's no mean feat. And she's up sticks, and she's now in South Harleston, which she has rebranded Soha because she thinks that sounds more glamorous. And she has been reunited with her BFF.
Her long-suffering friend.
Her long-suffering BFF, and that she couldn't survive without.
And yet abuses her on...
Abuses her, but it's out of love.
Yeah.
And it's this very dysfunctional, codependent relationship is reignited, and she needs Anne. Anne is... sort of helps her.
She does need Anne, that's the thing.
I mean, she needs Anne more than Anne needs her.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, because Anne might have 90,000 children, but she still needs Amanda to kind of give her a bit of focus in life and kind of give her someone to fuss over and to obsess over and to kind of aim to be.
What I love about Anne is the good in all of us, isn't she? Because she does see, like, she gives you so many chances.
That's like Philippa in real life.
Is it?
It really is.
Well, we just saw you talking beforehand. This is a genuine friendship that you both have, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And
so it must have been lovely just getting back to doing what you love doing.
It was, and it was funny because when we did Motherland, we would, even the first series, we'd be sort of in the deep background in the coffee shop, and we'd be sort of chatting away and slipping in and out of character, and we'd had a sort of like fantasy idea about her. There should be a spin-off.
Yeah.
We thought it should be Ananda. Ananda.
Yeah.
We'd discussed it for years, how we planned it, and anyway, when it did come about, we were both very surprised, but absolutely thrilled.
What does that feel like? It's like literally you visualised the dream. Both of you.
Well, yeah. Like, manifestation is real, you know? So
it really is.
Yeah, but like, we clicked the minute we met, and we always knew that there was something in the relationship between Amanda and Anne that was just captivating. And we thought, like, you could just mine it for years and days and weeks and months. So we thought, it's a wasted relationship. You really should see more of these people because they love each other in such a weird way and they need each other in such a strange way. But, yeah. So we thought we could do some more of it.
I mean, the great thing about Motherland is you could say that with so many characters, because everyone, you wanted to know more about everyone. And the scenes were so kind of quick and it was 30 minutes, so it's like rapid fire. It's so great. how quickly after Motherland did you know this was going to happen?
Gosh.
I have a very bad memory.
Me too.
Like, did you roll straight into it?
No. It sort of came about, and it was sort of talk about it, but I didn't know if it was real.
Yeah.
You go, yes, wonderful. We'll see. See if it really does, happen. And here we are.
Yeah.
Sitting on your sofa,
and you're
telling you all
working
about
with
it.
the legendary
Oh my goodness,
Joanna
the
Lumley.
dream.
Can I just say, the resemblance between you and her is uncanny,
I mean,
actually.
that is the greatest compliment of my life.
It really is. It's just such a perfect match. She must be a dream to work with.
She is, and she's been here, I think, many times, and she's just exactly what you'd expect. 100% of the time. She's fabulous and warm.
Never lets you down,
gorgeous.
does she?
No, she's just.
Is she very professional as well? Is she across her lines? Is she all over it?
She knows your lines. She knows
yes,
the
she does.
roles.
She really does.
Oh, ultimately.
She wants to, do you need? And she's so, if you want to run lines, and she's just on it, and she's a dream.
Yeah. Can you just tell me how many takes it took you to get that football on your head?
Do you know, we did that. We had about didn't have long at the end of the day.
It was
so
a rush.
I had some man off camera.
Literally kick a ball at your head?
Yes.
How many times did you do it? And did you get any concussion at the end?
No, I didn't. But it was the fall. It was a lot of mud, wasn't
It was a lot
there?
of mud. It was very cold. It was a time crunch.
Yeah.
It had to be done.
It looks so good, doesn't it?
Yeah, brilliant.
It was very serious, wasn't it? It was like, we've got to get this.
And again, and do it again, and go again, and do it again, and fall again, and hit her again.
We've got no time.
I tell you what I loved about it, Al, is the fact that there seems to be a whole new cast of characters that immediately I'm into. So, I mean, it's so well written, isn't it?
Yes.
Because you're just there going, OK, and she's got this kind of, like, not even love-hate, but it's just kind of, like, relationship with a neighbour who she kind of gaslights on a daily basis about charging her car, and her neighbour's trying to get his van out. You got that. You've got these great mums with Siobhan McSweeney.
Who's incredible, and Rashenda Sandal. And we've got the new cast are really incredible.
But you're in straight away watching it. That's what I loved about it.
Yes, good.
Like, you get the
It's the
dynamics.
same sort of feeling that you get when you watch Motherland, Joe.
Yeah, definitely. And also, I think we have kids the same age.
Okay. I have a 4-year-old.
Yeah, so you start to kind of... Now's the time where you start to go, oh, no, I get it.
I get it now, yeah.
But we're dealing with teenagers in this...
Yeah.
And I get that.
Different, I see,
yeah, I get it.
My kids are still not quite there yet, but that's a whole different world. And, so that's what they're...
Yeah.
Amazing. We're very excited because, number one, it actually starts on my birthday, just so you know.
Yeah, I know,
It's the
'cause you'll
5th
be
of February,
same decade
9
as me,
p.m.
which is
on
great.
BBC One. Amanda Land. Don't miss it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great, thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload new content every day, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out, and we'll see you in the morning.
This is such a great idea, Michelle.
Really, really exciting.
Where did it come from?
Well, it came from the movie, clearly. So I had the idea to turn it into a musical. Because
it's a fair question, because it's not a musical.
Well, there's a lot of things that are adapted into musicals because it just makes sense. And if you think about the cult following of this film, it makes sense that you would turn that story into a musical. And the good thing about what they've done with it is, if you remember the film, it's a really, really important film to me on many levels, but it always spoke to the weirdos and the misfits and the outliers. And I think that's why it was so important, as such a cult following. So at the end, you left with a feeling of sadness. You wanted to help Edward, and you wanted to take him in, and you wanted to adopt him. You wanted to, you rooted for him. Well, at the end of our musical, you feel joy, you feel happiness, you don't feel sadness. It's that kind of a show.
Yeah, because it's a sad film.
When I heard that there was going to be a musical, my first thought was, Michelle Visage is going to be in it. But you're not. You're actually producing it. Yes. So how are you finding? What sort of producer are you? Do people love you? And do you find it quite pressurising being a producer?
Well, I hope they love me. But I'm there as somebody who is in the theatre. I'm there as a theatre person.
Because you know about the theatre.
Know about the theatre, love the theatre. My university degrees in musical theatre. It's my passion. It's my first love. So I was meant to be in it, and schedules would not allow. So the director and creator, writer, Bradley Redewig, he said, do you want to produce it? And I said, absolutely. What do I have to do?
What does it involve, producing? Because I have no idea, because I'd like to produce a few things, but I don't know. What do you do as a producer?
You'd be great at it.
Do you have to put some money down?
Sometimes you do.
A dollar?
Maybe sometimes $1, maybe sometimes a shilling. I don't know. In this case, it's more about bringing who I am and my knowledge of musical theater and my knowledge of this movie and this show in particular, and loving music and giving my opinions and my thoughts and notes. No giving's fun.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, but they really don't need it, because this cast and crew is fully formed. It was a sold-out run in Los Angeles, and they brought a whole bunch of them over here, along with British performers and people of the like, to put on this musical.
What about the music? Tell us about the music they have.
So I think a lot of people think jukebox musical, I'm out, not my thing, and that's me. I don't love a jukebox.
Why? Same.
I don't know. There's the musical theater purist snob in me likes to have original
the original
music.
stuff, I'm with you.
Right. But the way that the music is tied into the narrative for this changes the game for jukebox musicals, right? Lady Gaga, Alanis Morissette, Belinda Carlisle, it all plays into the narrative of it, I promise you, because that's the way that I think. And there's a brand new original song in it written by the one and only Pat Benatar and her husband, Neil Giraldo, and it's called Beautiful Weirdos, and people will leave singing this song.
We were talking about the fact that...
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Quality.
Yeah, 80s.
Any Madonna? No Madonna.
You'll have to wait and see.
Oh, because we were talking about the fact that you won a lookalike competition of Madonna, which
did.
makes sense, at 16.
When I was 16.
Have you ever met her? Is she a friend yet?
She is not my friend.
Oh.
But Alison, I don't know how you feel about this. You know, you
don't want to meet you don't want to meet your idol.
And I've met a few, and they've let me down, and I've met a few, and they're my friends. She is one I want to stay on her pedestal and remain there. I don't want...
Look at you two.
I
mean, is that you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm the one not singing at an arena with the Ghost Riders. Yeah, just FYI.
How can we tell the difference?
Thank you, Dermot. Thank you.
You and Belinda are friends, though, aren't you?
Yeah, and she was my first ever idol.
You met?
When I met Belinda, honestly, I wish my mother was here to see me text Belinda and be like, hey, Queen, what are you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm in LA, because she lives in Mexico now. You want to go for lunch? And I'm like, am I really going out to lunch with Belinda Carlisle? She was my first, because she was before Madonna, wasn't she?
The thing about Belinda Carlisle as well is you play her songs now on the radio or in a
Wonderful.
DJ set, and the place goes, like, and not just one or two, like, you know, the whole back catalogue. She's so good.
She's incredible.
And she's a lovely, lovely human being.
And obviously, you're a singer as well. Yeah. Not a lot of people know about that, though. You was a singer, and you was on the Bodyguard soundtrack. You got an actual mention in that, didn't you?
So I was in a girl group from 1989 to 1991 called Seduction, who had huge, you know, we had 4 top 10 hits in the States. We charted here as well. And then in 92, I ended up recording an album and a song for Arista Records. Clive Davis signed me. The group was called Soul System. I was on top of the pops here. And the song, It's Gonna Be a Lovely Day, we did a remake of Bill Withers.
Yeah.
And Clive chose that. That's it. There it is.
Tune.
Clive chose that song to be in The Bodyguard. It was the only non-Whitney song that made it into The Bodyguard, the movie. And then I was track 9 on The Bodyguard.
And you got credit for that.
I did. It's me. That's me.
Incredible.
That's me a long time ago, kids. Before children, before life took its tolls on me.
That was you looking. You're still rocking it.
Oh, I love you,
still
Alison.
rocking it.
1 year on the X Factor, Clive Davis came over and did a masterclass. And you know, when someone like that walks in the room, it is a moment, isn't it? I mean, what was he like?
To know, first of all, I was 22.
Right.
To walk into a room knowing that I was going to meet the Clive Davis, who made so many careers. I mean, Whitney's just one of. Barry Manilow, like the list goes on and on of the stars. So you know you're walking into a star maker. I didn't know what he was going to think of me. And they brought me in as a face for a reason. And he said, oh, you're a star. I'm signing you right now. And I was just like, oh, this is it, guys.
That's what you want to hear.
Look out, Madonna. That did not happen.
Madonna who?
Right. However, I am humbled that I got to meet that legend.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
But you're into everything, aren't you? You like radio, TV presenter.
Yeah, we're radio
Drag
brethren,
race.
aren't we?
Are you like him? Do you dance like him in the studio?
Sounds a lot better than I do.
But I do dance
Do you
like
do the
that.
same sort of thing?
You're alone in there. So when the music moves you, you stand up. Yeah, you don't care.
Program the whole show around the second
That's exactly what I do. I play the music that makes me want to get up and have a booth by myself.
Well, that's the nice thing about that show, right? Is you get to play the music you want to play.
Yeah.
Listen, thanks for coming in.
We're very excited.
Lovely to see you.
Tickets are actually on sale now for Scissorhands, the musical. How do I say it?
Say it, go on, you try.
Southwark.
Oh, darn it.
Southwark Playhouse Elephant. They're available right
hello.
now.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
And Anne and Jenny join us now. Good morning, ladies. I have to say, my dad is the biggest fan of your shows. Why do you think people are such devoted? I mean, he watches it every single day.
I think because everyone's dad and everyone's mum watches it. Everyone has been introduced to it by someone's dad or mum.
Yeah.
I think it is very much a mum and dad show.
It's an amazing thing, Jenny, isn't it? And obviously, I've had experience of this because the way that Tipping Point and The Chase sat together and ITV have created this amazing quizzing time, and with Lingo at 3 o'clock or Pictionary now as well, that a show like The Chase just becomes woven into the fabric of people's everyday lives. It's not, I don't think it's just a quiz show anymore. It's more than that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's almost like, you know, the clock.
Yes.
You know when that music starts. As our friend Lucy says,
yes.
Her kids are expecting fish fingers and chips, the smell of fish fingers and chips when they hear the music for The Chase. It's part of the routine, and I think especially so when we were all in lockdown. People needed something to judge time by, and it was sort of the end of the working day. Everyone could sit down together. You could get on your WhatsApp group with the rest of your family and still play along like you would have done anyway. And so it's not a guilty pleasure anymore. It's part of the fabric of life, as you say.
And you must, Anne, because I get this a lot, and I know Bradley will as well, but you must get people coming up to you telling you about how your show has become so important to the family member, that there's somebody in their family that has experienced something, but The Chase was always there for them, and you've become a really integral part of their family.
You do. I mean, I've just got back from Panto, so in fact it's Jenny, and when I was doing Panto in Scarborough, so many people would just come up to me randomly in the street and say, well, it's so lovely to meet you, and I'm coming to the Panto, and so much recognition, which was really, really nice.
It must have really changed your lives, though, in a personal way. In what way has it changed your life, Anne?
Well, money.
Yeah. Excellent. Excellent.
Yes, definitely money. And, you know, just recognition and exposure, and suddenly discovering I have millions of friends I didn't know about.
Yeah. And then, Jenny, you were originally working behind the camera on the show, first of all. And Anne, were you something to do with how Jenny then
Jenny was a question setter in the very first series.
Yeah, the pilot run, there were just 2 question setters. They obviously were just trying it out and not hopeful it would go on forever. In fact, the other person writing the questions is now an egghead. So it's very strange how this comes round. So I wrote those questions and set the show off on the road to success, and then Anne joined down the road and I was quizzing alongside Anne, and she had a little recommendation for me.
Well, she invited me to join her quiz team in Bolton. Right. So we quizzed together for a few years, and then I knew that they were looking for a new female chaser. And I was sort of thinking my way round the quizzing circuit and thinking, well, the obvious candidate really is going to be Jenny.
Yeah, obvious. And let's talk about the characters as well, because the governess, who's the governess based on?
She's based a bit on one of my horrible grandmother. Not the nice one, but the horrible one.
Right, OK.
And she's based on one of my aunts, who was also horrible.
Do any of your family recognise those traits? Do they say, have you based that on old grumpy old so-and-so?
I don't know. I mean, I think probably the governess has ended up being nicer than both of them.
Wow.
Yeah, people... I've had people say that there's something about the governess that reminds them of Professor McGonagall.
Yes, there is a little bit of that.
Yeah, there may be an element of that.
And what about the vixen then, Jenny? Where did the idea of the vixen come from?
Well, the producers gave me quite a bit of leeway. They wanted me to create my own character.
Yeah.
So really, the vixen she's me, but the confident me that I can be. If I'm on stage singing a song, that suddenly this slightly different personality comes out, I feel stronger, more confident, and the costume actually really helps with that. Being able to put on almost a suit of armour, the glasses, the big hair.
Were there other iterations of her before you settled on the look that she is now?
a very slight sort of evolution into that, but I was quite involved in the design, actually. I sent lots of pictures, essentially, of Christina Hendricks in Mad Men.
Oh, she's gorgeous.
I thought, that's the kind of vibe I want, because she's a powerful
kick-ass,
woman.
Yeah, she's absolutely gorgeous. But away from that, you're also singing. You've got all these different facets to your personality that are almost complete opposites. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is one way that The Chase has really changed my life, is that people want to hear me sing. I got to go on X Factor Celebrity, and I really enjoyed that, and it opened a lot more doors to me. It introduced me to a lot of people who can help me with that, and I get so much joy singing, and it's really lovely to find out that people get joy from hearing me sing.
Yeah.
And I get to share that now.
Oh, look at you on stage, just so glamorous and gorgeous, and you're such a brilliant performer, and I love it. I think one of the things that was really interesting about Beat the Chase, though, because The Chase is such a strong format, and I'm great mates with one of your execs, or a couple of your execs, Michael Kelpie, and I know that running the pilots to try and find Beat the Chasers was not... You went through a number of different iterations for this format as well, didn't you?
Yeah, it got to a stage where I started to think of Beat the Chasers as a sort of zombie show. I thought, we're never going to get this right. It will never work, and yet they will keep bringing it back.
It was always so close.
It was, and then... Towards the end of 2019, they were like, right, we want to do another run-through. I'm like, oh, another one. And we tried it out, and I thought, you know what, actually... this format works.
Because the idea was trying to get you all together, wasn't it? And what that might look like.
Yeah.
It's quite a dangerous thing to put all 6 of us together, though.
Oh, yeah.
The egos and the brain power, the competitive warm-up quizzing that goes on in the dressing room.
Oh, really?
Something to behold.
Well, I was going to ask you about how competitive it gets, and is there a spreadsheet involved? And who is in charge of it?
If there is, Mark Babette's got it.
Yeah, Mark will be on that.
Well, he used to be a maths teacher, and he's very keen on his statistics.
He loves stats. He loves to keep them. There's a big stats fan online who keeps a lot of stats as well. But Mark's is it's very comprehensive, and you can measure how well we're all doing against each other, accuracy and speed. So it keeps us on our toes, at least. But we don't read too much into it. We're family, really.
Naturally, you're all very competitive quizzes, and I always think it's fascinating watching you rush in to answer questions. And then when one of you gets a question wrong, which does happen occasionally, but it's the look on the other's eyes when you've got a question wrong and they knew the answer as well. How does that go down?
Yeah, I mean, that's embarrassing. It helps us to sort of realise what it is like for the team on The Chase when, you know, the thing that trips them up is that they're not mind readers. They have to try and take a split second to work out, does anyone else know it? Does anyone have an idea? Is there someone who knows but is being slow on the buzzer? And, you know, that's what we have to start doing. So, for example, I tend to be the slowest on the buzzer. So, you know, I might know it. It might be a question that's right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
But you have to kind of look along the line and see, is Anne sort of slowly, sloth-like reaching for the button?
She knows it.
Yeah.
She knows.
Does she know it or not? Or is she actually about to mess up?
But the person who kind of hangs everything together is always Bradley. He does it with so much charm. He's so brilliant at it.
Absolutely is. I mean, he is absolutely central. He's crucial.
And the contestants love him, and he walks that line brilliantly, where it's like the drama, but also kind of the funny and keeping everybody comfortable.
He's a great people person, and he will always find that common ground with every single contestant. It doesn't matter how nervous they are. You don't see the full chat with each contestant. He's been talking to them for quite a while.
Wherever they're
from,
he's been there.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, he'll find a pub, or, you know, I know the main street there, or I've worked in that theatre, and he'll find some common ground, and it relaxes the contestant, and it means everyone's getting the best performance, and it's a masterclass, really, watching him work.
He's definitely got around, Bradley, hasn't he? There's nowhere he's not been, he's not worked, he's not done all sorts.
Or played, probably.
Has he forgiven you since you pranked him on Takeaway, though?
I think I've gone up in his estimation, because I don't think he thought I could act.
Really?
Yeah.
I like it.
I had to keep up that act all day. It was essentially, we staged it as if it was an ordinary episode, so all day everything had to be as normal.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. This, watching Brad Pitt and he storms off, that, and also the Midnight Game Show when he got done by Michael McIntyre and Fanny Schmeller turned up.
He wouldn't have known either.
No.
They did it on me and he didn't know.
Amazing.
On the Midnight Game Show, he definitely didn't know anything was going to happen because he actually hadn't got any clothes on.
Hello. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
Oh, it's so good.
So good.
We were texting each other, weren't we, as we were watching it? We are massive fans. Eve joins us this morning. Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Thank you for having me.
It is just a phenomenal piece of television. It's twisty, it's turny, the characters are brilliant, the plot is amazing. Did you know you were onto a winner?
You never know if you're onto a winner, really. You just... I've said it a couple of times that I think when you get older, you tend to kind of lean into your instinct more.
Yeah.
It's kind of your superpower. And my instinct was saying that this is something quite unique.
Yeah.
And different and doesn't shy away from, you know, the subject matter. Yeah. And the writing was superb.
For me, what was really unique about it was your character, Jeanette, and how fully rounded she was as a woman of an age. Like, she's trying to solve a murder, she's trying to hang on to her marriage, she's doing all the juggles. Yeah. But you were funny as well. Like, it was such a brilliant, well-rounded character, and I feel like actually you don't get to play those very often.
No, you know, you mine your character as much as you possibly can to connect with your audience as much as you possibly can, but you've got to make them real people. Otherwise, it's just white noise, you know, and Millie has just done, the writer has just done the most superb job in kind of giving this character layer upon layer and trouble after trouble and things that she's got to commit to and sacrifice as a mother, as a, you know, a DCI. And it's a joy to play something like that. I mean, the premise in the story is, you know, it's a dark subject, ones that we don't shy away from at all, we completely commit to, but you've got to have light and shade in that. You've got to kind of come away from those dark moments and breathe a bit. Yeah. And I think Jeanette is the kind of character that allows you to have those moments of breath.
That relationship between your character and Jojo, her son, is so lovely.
Yes.
And there's lovely moments. There's a little trailer in that point where she's very open with him about what she's investigating a murder. Yeah. And he's a young lad. You said there's the sort of traits that your mum had when you were growing up, that your mum was pretty indiscreet about things in front of you as well.
Yeah, my mum was completely filterless.
Sounds like my mum. No.
You know, what she thought she said. And that's a great thing. I think that was an amazing quality of my mum's because she always told me the truth. And I always knew, you know, what was going on was, you know, was truth. So nothing was hidden.
And never shy away from anything.
No, I mean, she wasn't wandering the streets of Bristol trying to find who was killing young boys and stuffing them in bags by any means. But it's a really nice quality that Jeanette does share with my mum is honesty.
Yeah. Yesterday, David Wilson, our criminologist, comes in and we talk about all sorts of true crime, documentaries, actual crime.
So clever.
David studies this.
Yes,
studies
clever.
These sort of things. And he sat down and he said, have you watched The Crow Girl? It is one of the most compelling, brilliant bits of drama he's ever seen in that world. I mean, that's testament to the writing, the acting and everything. Particularly you and Dougray Scott as a team. He was talking about that. That must have been brilliant to work with Dougray on this.
An absolute dream. You know, going back to a film that was made years and years ago, there's a cult film in Wales called Twin Town.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, I grew up on that. It was, you know, a staple in our house and in our university house. And then to work alongside Dougray was fantastic. He's such a professional. He's such a generous actor. But he's also somebody that, when you're on the floor with, you can throw anything at, and he just throws it back, and it's just a complete kind of game. A joy to work with him, and I hope to do so in the future. But that relationship is so dynamic and well written, and you know, to play opposite him, you're just playing opposite
And complicated,
trust.
brilliant and complicated.
And again, not perfect,
yes.
flawed.
Yes.
You know, and interesting, dynamic. And once you've got something dynamic like that, you can go anywhere with it.
Yeah, and also his character's great too because we found out all these things. I'm not going to give too much away.
Yeah.
But he's still got this charm about him as well. At the
He's
same
a
time.
real person.
Exactly.
You know, and everybody
Yeah.
does what they do in this particular show for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, there's a reason for everybody's actions.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. So we've loved it, absolutely loved it.
Thank you.
And then when we were doing the research into the series, it suddenly became apparent that the executive producer was Slash from Guns N' Roses. I mean, if things can get even more surreal.
It was a cool job when I got the script, and then when I heard it was Slash was one of the exec producers, you know, being one of the biggest Guns N' Roses fans that ever lived.
How? Why?
Just because he was a huge fan. The book is a best-selling international novel, and he's always wanted to make it into a drama. And when it came about, he came along with the project to Buccaneer, to Tony Wood at Buccaneer, and became one of the exec producers. And he's been hands-on from word go. He did a set visit. He came down.
Did he?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well, we shared a little bit of salmon and potatoes in a polystyrene box together.
I thought she was going to say sambuca. That's what I thought she was going to say. Not salmon.
I would have been up for that 100%. But he would have had to put up with me doing a lot of egg at time, which would have been really embarrassing.
Absolutely.
He was a really, really cool guy. I mean, they say don't meet your heroes.
Yeah.
Well, I did, and he was everything I'd hoped for.
Oh.
He was kind and generous. He had photographs of all the crew and the cast. But more importantly, he watched every daily that was sent to him on his tour bus. Of everything that we were shooting in Bristol, he was watching on his tour.
While he was on tour,
yeah,
doing
committed
with the
and kind and generous. Yeah, a hero.
Amazing.
It says to be continued.
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah.
Are we going to get some more? Please tell us we're going to get some.
There's 3 books, and we are.
You've gone really earnest all of a sudden.
Please, can we have some more Pro Girl, please?
My face has gone red, but I just want to say that it would be lovely. We'd be happy to do more. The response has been completely overwhelming, and we're so grateful to everybody who has responded and has spoken about it on socials. We are grateful to you for being so lovely watching it and giving this lovely review on it, and we hope to make some more. Yes.
Fingers crossed. It's wonderful.
We
Thank
need
you for
more.
popping in.
We need
Lovely
more.
to see you.
Good.
Thank you. The Crow Girl is streaming now exclusively on Paramount Plus. Thank you.
Oh,
Thank
hello.
you, guys.
Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.
Oh, I hope they don't wipe out Manhattan.
that would be rubbish.
Move over, James Bond. There's a new action hero in town. Leading man Gabriel Basso joins us now. Do they wipe out Manhattan? Please say isn't so.
I don't know. You'll have to watch.
They certainly could if they wanted to.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you first read this script, did you imagine that it was going to be as hugely successful as it is?
No, because it's a subjective art medium. Like, you never know how people are going to react to it, how, the show's going to do. And when you're in it and you're making the show, you just sort of, it was a tough show to make. So the brutal scheduling, a lot of night shoots, and you're just sort of day to day at a time. And then, I'm psyched people liked it, but, you can't anticipate that level.
It becomes a thing, though, doesn't it, Gabriel? Because, of course, you make it and you can enjoy the process and it can be hard and brutal, and then it goes out, and then all of a sudden Netflix turn around and they say, oh gosh, it's doing quite well. Over 812 million hours of screening or streaming people have taken watching you play this character.
It is kind of nuts. Well, and especially when, time is the sort of only resource that we have.
The most valuable commodity, right?
Yeah, and people just sink it into the show. And you look at it, someone divided the amount of hours into years, and it was like 900-something years.
Wow.
It's mind-blowing. It's crazy. It's like you could have built a cathedral.
Yeah,
or
you
something.
Did. You built a cathedral to Peter Sutherland. That's what you did. And you nearly didn't get the role because of a beard.
That's true,
Is that actually true?
Yeah, I think, in defense of Sean and the casting team and everything, they get thousands of tapes.
Of course.
So I think they're going initially off of the reaction of how they look, and then they saw me with a beard and were like, nope. And then, and then I grew one for season 2. So
yeah, exactly that.
So what can you tell us about season 2? Because obviously we've been gripped with season 1. So now Peter has been given a promotion. He's not sitting in the room anymore with the phone. He's saved the president. I mean, you've had a very busy time of it. You really have.
National hero.
I think Manhattan might be safe, actually.
Well, yeah.
Where is his head at now?
Well, he's not thinking about cheating on his wife. Like Jason.
Like Jason.
I still got a bone.
What about Rose, though? What about
That
Rose?
was Jason in our phone-in. Gabriel was listening to the phone-in. Yeah.
Dude, doesn't matter. Have some honor. Your word is your bond.
Maybe we can come back and get you to do a phone-in for something.
I'd love that.
Some hard love advice. I think I'd get arrested for the advice I give.
So where is your character season 2?
It's his first field deployment. He's trying to find his footing, I guess, as a night agent, and he's working under or being guided by Brittany Snow's character Alice. So she's sort of showing him the ropes in Bangkok, and he's trying to figure everything out.
One of the things, like when Kat and I started working together to bond, to get to know each other a little bit better, we went out for lunch and we had a few too many drinks. You and your co-star in this, Rose, you did something slightly more extreme. When you
took her bungee jumping.
You took her bungee jumping. Was that an easy conversation?
Don't even think about it.
Easy.
She said no a few times, but I was like, it's in Whistler in Vancouver. It's beautiful. Oh yeah, they told me to just jump off there. But
wow.
So you just jumped. How did she get on?
I think they pushed her off because she wouldn't do it. Her knees locked up or something, and they had to sort of push her off. But it is a weird feeling because you're leaving. I do a bunch of skydiving stuff as well, but there's no dead air because you get sort of pulled back by the wind. With bungee jumping or base jumping, you're leaving a platform and you have that moment of dead space.
Ground rush as well, right?
Yeah, so it is a little weird.
Did it work? Did it bond the two of you?
Did she like
I think
you
so.
afterwards?
I don't know. I don't know. It's fun though. She's definitely had a bit of an adrenaline high, I think. But bonding through trauma, nice.
It's a good way to do it.
But you love adrenaline. You love the adrenaline rush. You even want to do your own stunts. Have you watched people like Tom Cruise when he does all his own stunts? He hangs onto the side of planes and.
Yeah, and they work all that stuff out with someone beforehand to make sure he'll be alive. You know, they don't just throw him up.
That's
there.
important.
Is that what you're aiming for, though? That level of stunts?
No, I just think that I don't know why he does it, but for me specifically, the reason I want to do it is less to say that I can do my own stunts and everything, and more for the audience immersion factor of not having to hide anything. You know, when you're watching it. And, I'm getting stuff thrown at me or whatever, slamming somebody onto a table, and it cuts away from me. I think the way I think about it is death by 1,000 cuts. As an audience, you're subliminally being, something's being hidden from you. And I think that on some level, and there's only so many times you can do that before the audience goes, what
That's not him, yeah.
Yeah, or what am I watching?
So it feels more authentic.
Yeah, or it's like watching a green screen fight. It's at some point you just tune out and you're like, okay, I'm watching pixels.
Sure. Yeah.
You don't care as much,
It's certainly very engaging, this series of Night Agent, because you can clearly see the commitment from all the cast in terms of that side of it. I wanted to ask you a little bit about Hillbilly Elegy, because, of course, you took a bit of time out from your acting, then came back with this role, and you played J.D. Vance's character, who has now just been sworn in as the new Vice President of America. That must have been a fascinating experience, because meeting J.D. Vance, the J.D. Vance that you played and back then is sort of a different man to the Vice President. Did you ever see that happening?
No, it was wild, meeting him, first of all. But then for me, it's a crazy experience, because for now, all of human history or all of American history, all be forever sort of in his Wikipedia page, portrayed by Gabriel Basso. So that's been kind of wild for me to think about, that I played a politician. And then also, it's weird to think I don't know anything about vice presidents.
Right.
When's the last time? Everybody knows the name, but no one knows anything about them. And then the one that, people, I guess, know about, you can watch a movie about him.
Yes.
And it was made before he was vice president. So it's kind of a weird realization that... people know stuff more about him now because of me, in a way. It's kind of a weird feeling, but... sprinkle.
As Ben said, you were acting when you were younger, and then you took a break. Why did you decide to take a break? What was it that you wanted to do?
Experience life, I think, and not in the, that way, but in a. So I have my DSWA walling license.
What is
like dry stack walling, like y'all's
you build
walls?
So like a plasterer?
No, like the dry stack walls that you guys have, like in the Cotswolds and everything.
Okay, like a
there you go.
Wow. Oh my wife does this. She loves it. She went and did a course. Like you've done the old school craft.
Yeah, so
you can do dry stone walling.
Yeah, I got my walling license, and basically the way I think about it is it's a strange. Look, actors are insulated from reality in a lot of ways. And I remember I was getting a coffee. I was coming off a walling site. It was covered in dirt, and this guy recognized me in his coffee shop, and he's like, "The Knighted? Are you the Knighted?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "What's all the dirt from? Like, are you in wardrobe or costume?" And I was like, "No, I'm working." And he was like, "Why?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm 20. I was 28 at the time. I was like, I'm 28, and you're asking me why I'm working? Like, there is something that I think is wrong in today's day and age where I can retire at 30 years old. I don't think I should be able to. I think that it's my responsibility to work as a man. You get a trade, you become self-sufficient, and it feels wrong for me to go through life with people getting me water. It feels wrong. I'll do that when I'm old and I can't get up from the couch.
Sure.
But right now it's like, you meet a 30-year-old man who's never been in a fight, who doesn't have a trade, who doesn't have who's not contributing anything to society other than acting.
Yeah. You've got a strong work ethic, a strong ethic, full stop. So are you available for dry stone walling in case any of our viewers...
I'm building a house at the moment, so I could do with it.
Yeah, I don't live here in England.
No, but it'll be interesting to get the night agent to do your dry stone walling.
I don't know how much time he's got on his hands.
Yes, you're a bit
he's
busy at the
saving
moment.
Manhattan, and he's about to shoot Series 3.
Come on, Jason, dude. Don't cheat on your wife, man.
He'll
Don't do
our
it.
phone
You have kids, dude.
Gabriel, thank you for popping in.
Please.
Thank
It's great to meet you.
Thank you.
The Night Agent is out tonight on Netflix.
Yes, all on Netflix. Thank you for visiting our This Morning YouTube channel. We upload tons of new content every single day. So hit the subscribe button, like all the videos, and don't miss out. We'll see you in the morning.